And we're live! Good morning everyone here from South Carolina, USA. Good evening po sa lahat ng mga estudyante ko na nandyan ngayon sa Pilipinas. I hope you're all staying free from COVID-19. I hope you're all staying safe. And I hope that you're all ready to learn with me today for another set of our general education and professional education review. All right, now before we go to that, I would like to remind everyone, those of you who did not receive my freebies yet, the freebies that we had from our previous live stream, kung maaari lamang po ay i-comment nyo ngayon ang inyong email address. You did not receive the freebie from me from our previous live stream because for some reason, I do not have your email address. Okay, I think I have listed your names here. Ma'am Camille Rose Alvarez, Ma'am Joy Hamolin, Ma'am Antonia Picayo, Sir Jeffrey Arida, Sir Captain Jerome Natividad, Sir Alfredo Toralba, Ma'am Annalisa Marcos, Ma'am Joy Bularon, Ma'am Lizelle Moran, and Sir Abdurajak Jayari. Wala po akong email address nyo, and so I wasn't able to send you the freebie from our last live stream. All right. Now, again, make sure that you have your pen, your notebook, or your paper with you. No calculators allowed, no cheating allowed. Make sure that you write GenEd from 1 until 25, and also ProfEd from 1 until 25. If this is your first time to join us, then make sure that you also join us in answering the questions, and please do it honestly. Again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also like and follow our Facebook page. Share our YouTube channel, and of course, do not skip ads and don't abandon our videos. All right? Now, if you're ready, please comment with the number 1. Now, again, if you'd want to show your support to Gurong Pinoy, we also have our Super Chat Super Stickers. So you can give us some amount of money. Of course, that's not required from you, but of course, it's going to be highly appreciated if you can do so. Okay, many of you are ready. So now we start with our discussion. Again, please make sure that you have your pen, your notebook, or your paper with you. GenEd 1 until 25, ProfEd 1 until 25. Write down the letters of your answer. And of course, check your own work and make sure that you try your best to get at least 60%. 60% for GenEd would be 15, 60% for ProfEd would be 15, total of 30 points for the overall set, and that's going to still be 60% of the entire set. Okay? Now we start with our discussion. All right, so again, we are going to have licensure examination for teachers review, general education and professional education, GenEd 1 until 25, and ProfEd 1 until 25 still. All right, so we start with the first question for general education. Rabies comes from dog and other bites. How could this be prevented? Is it letter A, always tie the dogs? Letter B, kill the dog that bites? Letter C, keep the dogs in cages? Or letter D, have the dog vaccinated with anti-rabies? All right. Again, please write your answer in your notebook or in your paper, and also please comment your answer. Yes, good evening, everyone. I can see a lot of your comments just saying good evening. Meron pang mabuhay. Again, those names that I have mentioned, make sure that you send or you comment your email address so that I can send you the freebie later. Okay. Now, all of you have commented letter D, and of course, that would be the correct answer. So have the dog vaccinated with anti-rabies. So always, we know that prevention is always better than cure, okay? So Pag may anti-rabies na yung aso, ibig sabihin wala na siyang rabies, so pwede ka na magpakagat. Okay, pwede na magpakagat, hindi ka na magkaka-rabies. Alright, now please put a check mark if your answer is correct. I hope everyone got the correct answer for number 1. Tama ba lahat for number 1? Tama ba? Okay, number 1, all correct. Alright, we go to question number 2. A rectangle has sides of 10 and 12 units. How can the area of a square be computed if it has the same perimeter as the rectangle? This is in math. Letter A, add 10 and 12, double the sum, divide by 4, then multiply by 4. Letter B, add 10 and 12, double the sum, divide by 4, then multiply by 2. Letter C, add 10 and 12, double the sum, divide by 4, then square the quotient. Letter D, add 10 and 12, double the sum, then multiply by 4. Okay, Sir Jenny Mark, comment lamang po. Since you cannot write it on paper, naka-duty daw si Sir. All right, now again, question number 2 is for math. What do you think is the correct answer? So we have a rectangle with sides of 10 and 12 units. Now, if we have a square with the same perimeter of the rectangle, okay, how can we compute for the area of that square? Okay, so some of you are already answering number 2. Some more answers for number 2, please. I see a lot of answers that are D, my B, B. Good morning po, Sir George. Okay, some more answers. Okay, now before I give you the correct answer here, let me go to the next slide. Oh, it has already given you the answer, but the correct answer here would be letter C. Add 10 and 12, double the sum, divide by 4, then square the quotient. So letter C po ang correct answer. Ma'am Nelma, it's okay. Basta math na, dili jud ko kabalo mag-solve. Try nyo lang po. I-try nyo lang po. Don't give up. Okay? Now again, for number 2, the correct answer is letter C. It says add 10 and 12, double the sum, then divide by 4, then square the quotient. Now, let me show you how it works. Okay, now we know how to solve your add 10 and 12 kasi. So if you have 10 and 12, which are the lengths and the widths, 10 and 12 units of your rectangle, for you to get the perimeter of that rectangle, you need to use this formula, di po ba? So 2 multiply the quantity, length, plus width. Kaya sabi ng first part ng letter C mo, add 10 plus 12, then multiply by 2. Okay, so that means the perimeter should be 44. Now, sabi doon sa ating question, yung square also has the same perimeter as your rectangle. So that means yung perimeter ng ating square is also 44. Now, we know that the formula for the perimeter of a square is 4 times the side, okay? Because the square has 4 equal sides, okay? So since we are given your perimeter, we need to get the measurement of one side. So what we do is we divide the perimeter, which is 44, by 4. Kaya yung second to the last part ng yung letter C is divided by 4. Okay? Now, once you have that, so that means this is the measurement of one side. Now, we know that area of the square would just be S squared. Okay? So side multiplied by side. So what we have would be 11 times 11, or the last part there would be to square the quotient. okay, to square the quotient of your perimeter. So that's why the correct answer there was letter C. Add 10 and 12, double the sum, divide by 4, then square the quotient. Okay, square the quotient. All right, so letter C would be the correct answer. All right, we go to number 3. A father was misunderstood by his teenage boy because, is it letter A, the father abhorred modernization as being fresh? Letter B, the father imposed his values on courting and marriage? Letter C, the father did not understand the teenage values on dating? Letter D, the father could not tolerate the live-in arrangement of his son? What do you think is the correct answer for number 3? This is in social studies. Oh, marami na kayong nahihirapan sa math. Again, if you have time, please check our GenEd playlist. We have some math tricks there. Meron po tayong tricks there, especially for unit conversion. That's going to be very easy for you to use. Make sure that you check that because unit conversion is also a very common topic in the LET. And there are also several other math tricks there. Okay, and of course, whenever we have a math question here in our sets, I am also going to discuss it with you. Okay, so number 3, why do you think nagka-misunderstanding itong tatay tsaka yung teenage boy niya? Is it dahil letter A, the father abhorred modernization as being fresh? Ang ibig sabihin po ng word na abhorred is hated. Okay, the father hated modernization as being fresh. Letter B, the father imposed his values on courting and marriage. Okay, so sinabi ng tatay, dapat maakit ka talaga ng ligaw, dapat pinapakasalan mo talaga yung babae, dapat hindi kayo nagsasama bago yung kasal. Letter C, the father did not understand the teenage values on dating. Or letter D, the father could not tolerate the live-in arrangement of his son. Now, kung inyo pong mapapansin, letter C and letter D here, okay, the father did not understand teenage values on dating. And letter D, the father could not tolerate the live-in arrangement of his son. Ang letter B mo po is a combination of C and D. Okay, letter B is already a combination of C and D. Now, we also cannot say that the father abhorred modernization as being fresh because modernization is a very wide topic. It's a very wide word. And it encompasses a lot of different things about modernization. Hindi lamang courtship, hindi lamang marriage, hindi lamang dating. Now, the correct answer here would be letter B. The father imposed his values on courting and marriage. Again, we cannot choose letter A because this is a very big, it's a very broad word. And C and D are already combined in letter B. Okay, so letter B po would be the correct answer for number 3. Please put a check mark if your answer is correct. If not naman, okay lang. Okay, mag-move on na lang tayo pag hindi tama yung sagot. All right, now we go to number 4. The death of the kidnapped victims by the terrorists was considered A deviation from protocol. Letter B, a neglect of priorities. Letter C, a revenge for atrocities of civilians. Letter D, an affront to the leadership. What do you think is the best answer for number 4? All right, please keep your answers coming. Okay, so some of you are answering already for number 4. Maayong gabi, Ma'am Checky. Good evening sa inyong lahat dyan. Usually naman talaga mahina ang signal sa Pilipinas, lalo na pag umuulan. No? I know medyo maulan din ngayon dyan sa Pinas. Dito medyo maulan din. Okay, now many of you have already answered number 4. Good evening, Sir Jeffrey. We go back to our question, the death of the kidnapped victims by the terrorist was considered what? Okay, so anong ginawa ng mga terorista sa mga nakidnap nilang biktima? Ito yung pinatay nila. Okay, so this is considered what? Is this a deviation from protocol? We cannot answer letter A. Bakit? Dahil wala namang protocol na fina-follow yung mga terorista. Okay, so this cannot be considered a deviation from protocol. A neglect of priorities, kaninong priority po ang ating pinag-uusapan? Letter C, a revenge for atrocities of civilians. So yung mga civilian pa po ba yung may atrocities? Yung mga civilian pa po ba yung nanggugulo? Or is it letter D, an affront to the leadership? The correct answer here would be letter D po, an affront to the leadership. Kasi pag sinabi mong affront, this means a disrespect. Okay? Kawalan ng respeto sa mga namumuno, kawalan ng respeto sa liderato. Okay? So yung mga terorista, meron silang mga kinidnap at pinatay nila yung mga kidnapped victims nila. So this is considered disrespect to the leadership, disrespect to the government. It's letter D, an affront to the leadership. All right, please put a check mark if your answer is correct. Again, that's letter D. Medyo konti lang yung sumagot ng letter D. Okay, so again, please, for the following questions, please be more careful. Okay, basahin po maigi, analyze maigi ang ating tanong. All right, question number 5. Which of the following causes the seasons? Is it letter A, the rotation of the sun around the earth? Letter B, the distance of the earth from the sun? Letter C, the rotation of the earth around the sun? Or letter D, the tilting of the earth on its axis? Hi, Ma'am Aida. Ma'am Aida Denise Arandela, welcome po. First timer, good evening. I hope you have a piece of paper, your notebook with you, and your pen. Again, as I have advised you, it's okay to have a piece of paper with you, but if you can have a notebook, then it's going to be better because, of course, all your notes are intact. Okay, what do you think is the reason why we have the different seasons? Is it the rotation of the sun around the earth, the distance of the earth around the sun, the rotation of the earth around the sun, or the tilting of the earth on its axis? Now, so many of you are answering letter C, B. Now, we go to the next slide first. We know that the earth actually has two movements, and we call these movements rotation and revolution. Magkaiba po ito. When you say rotation, this is the spinning of the earth on its own axis. Ito po. Okay, so spinning of the earth lang on its own axis. The axis is this imaginary line that cuts through the earth from the North Pole to the South Pole. So nagspin lang dyan ang iyong earth. If you can imagine yung earth mo to be an orange, tapos meron kang stick, for example, na tinuhog mo siya sa isang stick, tapos pinaikot-ikot mo siya on that stick, that is your rotation. Okay, so it's just the spinning of the earth on its own axis. Now, what is very prominent about this, what is very important for you to remember is that the axis of the earth is not straight. Okay, hindi po siya straight. It is tilted by 23.5 degrees. Okay, so nakaslant po siya, nakadiagonal po siya. Now, rotation only takes 24 hours to be completed. So one complete rotation takes only 24 hours. Ang effect po nito would be day and night. Kaya tayo merong araw, kaya tayo merong gabi, because po of rotation. Now, the other movement of the earth is its movement around the sun. Okay, so one complete revolution, one complete movement on its orbit, okay, following its orbit around the sun, you call that revolution. And this would take 365 and 1/4 days. Now, this is very important, especially yung 1/4 dito. Napaka-importante po niyan dahil ito po yung nagbibigay sa atin ng leap year, di ba? Sinasabi natin leap year pag merong isang sobrang araw sa isang taon. So, pag hindi leap year, for example, right now it's 2020, 2020 is a leap year. Okay, pag hindi leap year, ang February mo ay hanggang February 28 lamang. Pag leap year naman, ang yung February na month ay hanggang February 29. So there is a sobra of 1 day. Bakit? Because of this 1/4 day here. It takes 365 and 1/4 days to complete one revolution. So pagkalipas ng 4 na taon, of course, when you have 4 na 1/4, that would give us 1. Kaya nagiging 366 ang araw sa isang leap year. Now, paano nyo malalaman kung isang taon ay leap year? Lahat po ng taon na divisible by 4 is a leap year. So year 2020 is a leap year. Year 2024 is going to be a leap year. 2028 is going to be a leap year. 2032 is going to be a leap year. Okay, so all those years that are divisible by 4 are leap year. Now, the effect of revolution would be the seasons, and this is partly because of the tilting of the axis of the Earth. At dahil dito ay meron tayong perihelion, aphelion na tinatawag. I think I've already discussed this in one of the previous live streams that we have. Pag sinabi mong perihelion, the Earth is very near the Sun. It is the location of the Earth where you can find it nearest the Sun. Pag sinabi mo namang aphelion, the Earth is very far from the Sun. Okay, so it's because of the tilting of the axis, and of course, it's because of revolution. So that's why we have seasons. And another effect of this would be the different time zones that we have. Kaya umaga dito ngayon, ng alas 7:20 ng umaga, dyan naman ay gabi. Mas advanced po kayo, mas nauuna po kayo ng 12 hours. So dyan naman 7:21 on a Saturday evening. Dito naman 7:21 in the morning of Saturday. Okay? So going back to our question here, which of the following causes the seasons? The rotation of the sun around the Earth, this is already wrong because we don't call this rotation, we call this revolution. The distance of the Earth from the sun, not really, this is not specified. We don't know whether it's near or whether it's far. The rotation of the Earth around the sun, okay, wrong din to dahil nga rotation of the Earth around the sun. Ang tawag po dyan would be revolution. Ang rotation po would just be the spinning of the Earth on its own axis. And letter D naman, the tilting of the Earth on its axis. So the correct answer would be letter D, the tilting of the Earth on its axis. And of course, because of the revolution of the Earth around the sun. Now, sa case naman po ng Earth, there is one natural satellite that we have for the Earth. Pag sinabi mo pong satellite, this is an object that revolves around the planet. So the Earth only has one natural satellite, and that would be the moon. So yung moon naman po ang nagre-revolve, ang moon naman yung umiikot around the Earth. And it takes 1 month for it to complete one revolution around the Earth. Okay, so letter D would be the correct answer for number 5. That's letter D again. Okay, please put a check mark if your answer is correct. Yes, Ma'am Aida, you got it right. It was letter D. Now we go to number 6. Which of the following best explains why copper is the metal used in most electrical wiring? Letter A, it has resistance to electricity. Letter B, it is more expensive than aluminum. Letter C, it is the best conductor of electricity. Or letter D, it has better conduction than aluminum and cheaper than silver. Bakit nga ba copper ang metal na ginagamit natin whenever we have electrical wirings? Okay, now we know that we have different types of elements. May iba-ibang uri tayo ng materials. We have the metals, the non-metals, and the metalloids. Pag sinabi mo pong metals, these are our materials that are very good conductors. Pag sinabi mong conductors, that would mean that they are very good medium of electricity. Mabilis nilang pinapasa yung electricity or even heat. Kaya pag nagluluto po kayo, if you are using a metal pot, for example, yung bottom part lamang ng metal mo, yung nagtatouch sa fire, but even if you touch the handle, even if yung handle yung hahawakan mo, the handle is not touching the fire directly, mainit pa rin kahit yung handle. Kasi nga is, you are using metal, and metal is a very good conductor of electricity. It's a very good conductor of heat. Now, your non-metals, yung non-metals mo naman po, are bad conductors of electricity and heat. So, hindi nila napapa-flow yung electricity, napapa-flow yung heat sa kanila, yung energy sa kanila. They are what you call insulators. So, may resistance sila to electricity. They don't easily make electricity or heat flow through them. So, some examples for this would be your plastic, your rubber, your wood. Kaya if someone got electrocuted, pag meron pong nakuryente, wag mo siyang kukunin or wag mo siyang hahawiin sa pamamagitan ng isang metal rod. Kasi metal rod nga would be a good conductor of electricity. So pag nangyari yan, pag touch mo sa body niya, ng taong nakukuryente nga, yung kuryente ay dadaloy sa metal rod at syempre makukuryente ka rin. So dapat pag gusto mong tapikin ang isang taong nakukuryente, kailangan ay gumamit ka ng non-metal. So pwedeng kahoy, papel, pwedeng rubber, pwedeng plastic. Okay, so that's conductors and insulators. Insulators po ang may resistance to electricity. So ang question natin dito, bakit nga ba copper ang ginagamit? So that means letter A cannot be the correct answer. It has resistance to electricity. Copper is a metal, therefore it has no resistance to electricity. It is not an insulator. It is a good conductor of electricity. Is it letter B? It is more expensive than aluminum. Aluminum po, hindi aluminium. Okay? That's aluminum. It is more expensive than aluminum. Of course, this cannot be the correct answer. Bakit mo siya gagamitin kung more expensive siya? Siyempre, dun ka sa mas mura. It is the best conductor of electricity. The best conductor of electricity po, according to researches, is silver. Okay? So silver is the best conductor of electricity. And so the correct answer would be letter D. It has better conduction than aluminum and cheaper than silver. Okay, so letter D is the correct answer for number 6. Tama po ba kayo? Okay, did you get the correct answer? Please put a check mark. Okay, for number 6, please put a check mark if your answer is correct. Okay, so number 6 would be letter D. Letter D, it has better conduction than aluminum and cheaper than silver. Okay, now we go to number 7. Mass society is described as composed of anonymous individuals. The word anonymous conveys the idea that the individuals involved, A, are unaware of other individuals exposed to the same stimuli. Letter B, are known only to those who control mass media. Letter C, are unaware that there are mass media. Letter D, have little influence on decision-making since they are not organized. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 7? Please write your answer in your notebook. Also, please try to send your answer so that we can gauge whether more people got the correct answer or more people got the wrong one. Okay, so I can see a lot of you are already answering for number 7. Mass society is described as composed of anonymous individuals. Okay, so your term here is the term anonymous. The word anonymous conveys the idea that the individuals involved, of course, we know that pag sinabi mong anonymous, it's synonym. Ang kapareho niya ng meaning would be the term unknown. Walang alam, hindi kilala. Okay, so the correct answer here would be letter A, are unaware of other individuals exposed to the same stimuli. Okay, so letter A po ang correct answer. When you say someone is anonymous, there has been an anonymous letter, so then that means hindi mo alam kung sino nag-send. It is unknown, it is anonymous. Okay, now, iba po ito sa palagi nyo naririnig pag merong fight si Manny Pacquiao. Yung term naman po na yun, it would be unanimous. Unanimous naman, ibig sabihin naman ng unanimous would be they have the same opinion. They have the same choice. Unanimous. Okay, they are united in their choice. All right, so number 7, the correct answer is letter A. All right, now we go to number 8. What is least likely to be a function of an association? Least likely. Dito yung, saan dito yung hindi function? Hindi function, hindi ginagawa ng isang asosasyon. Is it letter A, protecting the reputation of the industry? Letter B, standardizing the types of products? Letter C, influencing government policies? Or letter D, encouraging competition? Okay, again, we're already number 8. What is least likely to be a function of an association? Saan dito yung hindi function, hindi gawain ng isang asosasyon? Okay, is it letter A, protecting the reputation of the industry? Letter B, standardizing types of products? Letter C, influencing government policies? Or letter D, encouraging competition? All right, now going back to your question here, again, the question is, what is least likely to be a function of an association? Now, if you think of your association, isang example ng asosasyon mo would be the TODA, di ba? Tricycle Owners and Drivers Association. Saan dito yung hindi ginagawa ng iyong TODA? Is it letter A, protecting the reputation of the industry? Pag merong bang issue about sa TODA ay pinoprotektahan nila ang kanilang samahan, pinoprotektahan nila ang kanilang asosasyon. Letter B, standardizing the types of products. Meron ba silang pina-follow na tarifa, na standard fares, okay? Standard na pamasahe. Is it letter C, influencing government policies? Nakikipag-dialogue ba sila sa inyong barangay or sa inyong town, sa inyong city para magkaroon sila ng standards, for example, para magkaroon sila ng rota nila kung saan sila maaaring magbiyahe? Or is it letter D, encouraging competition? Okay lang ba sa TODA mo na merong ibang tricycle na gumala or mamasada sa kanilang rota? Okay lang ba yun? Kadalasan merong merong unique na color yung mga TODA natin, no? Depende sa rota. So okay lang ba na merong ibang tricycle na pumunta, kunwari lahat ng tricycle sa inyo, yung TODA nyo ay kulay pula. Okay lang ba na yung mga tricycle na kulay green, kulay blue, kulay yellow, that means from the other boundaries, from the other rota, ay pumunta at doon mamasada. Okay? So that gives us the hint for the correct answer. The correct answer here would be letter D, encouraging competition. Bawal sa kanila yung competition dahil nga meron silang asosasyon. Bawal nga yung strike na tinatawag. Yung strike na tinatawag would be yung isang tricycle na hindi siya pumipila, hindi siya kasali sa TODA. Okay? So kailangan nga, pag gusto mong mamasada sa rotang to, ay maging membro ka muna ng TODA. Okay? So letter D would be the correct answer for number 8. All right, now we go to number 9. In every society, certain positions are assigned to individuals based on age, sex, marital status, and other criteria. These patterns are letter A, universally accepted and practiced. Letter B, culturally defined. Letter C, learned from parents. Letter D, taught in school. Okay, what do you think is the answer for number 9? This is still social studies. Maraming social studies items ngayon sa ating GenEd set. Wala masyadong math. Kaya yung mga medyo hirap sa math, ay pwede na po muna kayong huminga na malalim. Okay, dahil wala po masyadong math. I think I have only seen one math item. Yun lang po number 2. The rest of the items that we have here, wala na po math. Okay, so sabi dito, in every society, certain positions are assigned to individuals based on age, sex, marital status, and other criteria. These patterns are, is this universally accepted and practiced sa lahat ba ng nations all over the world ay pinapractice ito? Is it just culturally defined? Depende sa iyong kultura. Is it letter C, learned from parents? Or letter D, taught in school? Sinasabi ba na dapat sa Pilipinas, kung ikaw ay nag-reach na ng 25 at wala ka pang asawa or hindi ka pa nagka-boyfriend, yung ibang tao ay pwedeng sabihin na baka tomboy ka. Okay, ba't wala ka pang girlfriend, 25 ka na? NBSB ka, no boyfriend since birth ka, 25 years old ka na. Baka naman may problema, baka naman hindi ka normal, baka naman gusto mo kapwa mo babae, baka tomboy ka, okay? Or pag sinabing 30 years old ka at hindi ka pa nag-aasawa, ay magiging matandang dalaga ka na or magiging matandang binata ka na, okay? So ano nga ba ito? Ano ba yung nag-i-influence ng ating societal position, societal status? The correct answer, of course, would be letter B. It is culturally defined. So depende sa kultura. Alright? So kunwari dito, kunwari dyan sa Pilipinas, lalo na sa atin, since we are teachers, hindi po pwede na yung mga guro ay mabuntis ng walang asawa. Okay? That's a no-no. That's based on our code of conduct. That's also even taboo in our kultura. Okay, so hindi po pwede pagchichismisan ka ng mga kapitbahay mong may wifi. Alright? Pero dito po sa Amerika, hindi ganun ka-stricto, hindi ganun ka, hindi ganun yung batayan nila regarding marriage kahit na may mga, for example, may mga, karamihan dito sa kanila kunwari, meron akong mga students, hindi ko minsan nalalaman na yung estudyanteng to, dalawang estudyanteng ito ay magkapatid dahil iba-iba yung mga apelido nila, dahil hindi ganun ka-intact, kumbaga, yung family values nila, hindi ganun kahalaga na maging married yung nanay tsaka tatay. Okay? So usually, yung mga estudyante ko, hindi ko alam na magkakapatid pala dahil iba-iba nga yung mga apelido. Yung apelido ay based sa apelido ng tatay dahil hindi naman bawal sa kanila kahit na illegitimate, kumbaga, kahit na out of wedlock siya dahil hindi nga kasal yung nanay at tatay, ay ginagamit pa rin nung bata yung apelido ng tatay. At kahit dito, for example, may co-teacher ako na mabuntis, bawal sa akin na magtanong, oh, so your husband is ganyan-ganyan, hindi ko alam kung may husband siya, hindi ko alam kung pareho yung tatay nung anak niyang nauna sa tatay ng anak ng pinagbubuntis niya ngayon, for example. Okay, so it's unethical for them to ask questions about their marital status, to ask questions about their kids. Okay, so dahil nga iba ang kanilang kultura. Alright, so letter B is the correct answer for number 9. It is culturally defined. Number 10, an atom or a group of atoms which has an excess deficiency of electrons is called what? Excuse me. Is it a proton, molecule, electron, or ion? All right, so again, going back to question number 10, we are asked what we call an atom or a group of atoms with an excess, may sobra, or may deficiency, may kulang na electrons. Ano bang tawag natin dito? All right, many of you are already answering for number 10. I can see a lot of A's, there are D's. Okay, now we go to the next slide so that I can explain this to you. Now, we know that we have 3 types of subatomic particles. Pag sinabi po natin subatomic particles, these are the smaller parts of an atom. Kasi pag sinabi mong atom, it is the basic unit of matter. Matter is everything around us. Okay, matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Basta ang isang bagay ay nakakapag-occupy ng space, ibig sabihin meron siyang volume at meron siyang mass. That means matter siya. Okay, so minsan kahit hindi natin nakikita, pwede pa rin matter siya. For example, air. Air is still matter even if we cannot see it because air has mass and it can occupy space. Kaya pag merong balloon, for example, pag nilagyan mo siya ng hangin, ay lumalaki siya because hangin, air is a type of matter kahit hindi natin siya nakikita. Now, ang sinasabi nating subatomic particles, these are the parts, the smaller parts that are found inside an atom. Ang atom nga is the basic unit of matter. Now, there are 3 types of subatomic particles, the protons, electrons, and neutrons. Now, my table here is showing you the differences between those 3. So, pag sinabi mong location, saan mo ba sila makikita? Yung proton and neutron mo, pareho mong makikita sa nucleus. Yung nucleus po, ang pinakagitna ng iyong atom, dyan mo nakukuha yung mass ng iyong atom. Okay, so that's the nucleus. Okay, so your proton and electrons are both found in the nucleus of the atom. It is only the electron that is found outside sa tinatawag nating electron clouds. Okay, so yung electron mo yung medyo kitikite, yung electron mo po yung hindi mapalagay, palagi po siyang gumagalaw. Now, according to their mass, Your proton and your neutron have 1 AMU. 1 AMU, AMU here stands for atomic mass unit. Okay, that's the measurement of the mass of an atom. Ang electron mo naman, it is negligible. Meaning, pwede mo nang i-neglect dahil napaka-light niya. Wala siya halos mass. Now, according to the charges, according to their charge, your proton is positively charged. So, positive yung charge ng protons mo. Electrons are negatively charged. Ang neutrons mo naman, based sa kanyang pangalan, it is neutral. So, wala siyang charge. That's why I wrote 0 there. Now, the atom, if your atom is neutral, pag neutral yung atom mo, wala siyang charge, that means equal ang number ng protons niya at yung number of electrons niya. For example, in this case here, pag tinignan natin yung protons, yung pula, no? 1, 2, 3, meron tayong 3 protons. At titingnan din natin yung electrons. Ilang electrons ba meron siya? 1, 2, 3. Meron din siyang 3 electrons. So that will be plus 3, positive 3 for the 3 protons. And meron ka ding negative 3 for the 3 electrons. That means your atom is neutral. Neutral siya, wala siyang charge. Now, what happens kung sumobra yung electron niya? For example, okay, sobra siyang isang electron. If that happens, the charge of your atom would be negative 1. Okay, sobra siyang isang electron negative dahil yung charge nga ng electron mo would be negative. So, may sobra siyang isang negative. So, that's why the charge would be negative 1. Pag kulang naman siya ng electron, for example, nawala to, nawala din to. So that means yung protons mo 3, so that's plus 3. Yung electrons mo ngayon, 2 na lang. Dahil dinilit nga natin yan, in-erase natin yan, pati din ito. So 2 na lang yung electrons mo. That means meron siyang sobrang isang positive charge. So when that happens, the charge of your atom would be positive 1, plus 1 siya. And we call these atoms, those with excess or deficiency of electrons, as ions. So your correct answer here would be letter D, ion. Okay, ion po yung tamang sagot. Ion ang mga atoms na hindi wasto, ang count ng, hindi equal yung number of electrons and protons nila. Usually, yung nagsasubtract lamang po at nag-add would be the electrons. Dahil nga sabi ko sa inyo, yung electrons yung magalaw, yung electrons yung involved sa bonding. Sa pag-perform ng different compounds, pag-perform ng bonding, it is the electrons that are involved and not the protons. Yung protons po, yung neutrons mo would just be intact in the nucleus. Okay, so ion would be the correct answer. Again, ions are atoms with excess or deficiency of electrons. So hindi lamang po si ion ni Vice Ganda ang kilala nyo ngayon. Okay, may ion din po sa LET. Alright, now we have, dagdag ko lang, meron tayong 2 klase ng ion. Going back to our previous slide. Pag negatively charged siya, a negatively charged ion, yung tawag niyo po dyan is anion. Anion, A-N-I-O-N. Okay, parang siyang onion, pero A lang instead of O. Pag positively charged naman siya, meaning kulang siya ng electron nga, no? Sobra siya ng proton, yung tawag niyo po dyan ay cation. Cation spelled as C-A-T-I-O-N. Okay, so it's cation. Alright, so yan po yung 2 klase ng ions na meron tayo. Again, ions would be atoms with an excess or with a deficiency of electrons. 2 types for this would be an ion, negatively charged ion, or cation, positively charged ion. All right, so again, ion is the correct answer for number 10. Yes, congratulations, Ma'am Nelma. All right, now we go to number 11. And for the rest of you, have also answered letter D. Number 11, when lighted, the energy of an alcohol in a lamp is letter A, transformed from chemical to mechanical energy. Letter B, transformed from chemical to light and heat energy. Letter C, lost while heating is done. Letter D, completely destroyed. What is the answer for number 11? Anong nangyayari sa energy ng alcohol sa loob ng lamp? Okay, pag sinindihan mo siya. Is it transformed from chemical to mechanical energy? Letter B, transformed from chemical to light and heat energy. Letter C, lost while heating is done. Or letter D, completely destroyed. Okay, now a lot of you have already answered. I can see a lot of letter B's. Now going to this topic here, when lighted, the energy of alcohol in a lamp is, we cannot choose C nor D. Hindi po pwedeng it is lost while heating is done, it is completely destroyed. Bakit hindi po pwede ang C and D? It is because of the law of conservation of energy. Sabi ng law of conservation of energy mo, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be changed from one form to another, or it can only be converted from one form to another. So, kino-convert lang po ang type of energy natin from one form to another. Hindi po siya kine-create, hindi po siya dine-destroy. One common question in the LET would be, what is the only source of energy on Earth? Or what is the main source of energy on Earth? What would be your answer? Okay, ano yung answer nyo? If the question is, what is the only source of energy on Earth? Anong sagot nyo pag ganun yung tanong? Okay, sunlight. Hello, Ma'am Marjeline. Okay, the sun, that's correct. So if your question is what is the only source or what is the main source of energy on Earth, your answer would be the sun. It is the one and only source of energy on Earth. So from the sun, from sunlight, yung tinatawag na nating radiant energy or solar energy coming from the sun, kino-convert lang po siya from one form to another. No, minsan po, sabi dito ng ating slideshow, sometimes the conversion is not 100%. Kaya meron tayong sinasabing efficiency ng isang machine. Okay? So dapat pag na-convert niya yung energy from one form into another, pwede mo siyang sabihin na it is 100% efficient. Kaya nakikita mo ito sa iyong mga appliances. Pag 100% efficient siya, meaning wala siyang nalulose na energy. Pero, oftentimes, hindi naman po ganon. Okay? So, sabi dito ng law of conservation of energy natin, energy cannot be created nor destroyed, is only converted from one form to another. Now, what are these types or what are these forms of energy? The two major forms of energy that we have here would be kinetic energy and potential energy. Now, pag sinabi mo pong potential energy, this is stored energy. Stored energy. Hindi pa siya nagagamit na energy. Kinetic energy mo naman is the energy of movement, or sometimes you'd see this in the left, the energy of motion. So pag sinabi mong potential energy, this is the type of energy that you have in an unmoving object. Pag ang object mo hindi gumagalaw, meron siyang potential energy. Now, your kinetic energy is the energy possessed by moving objects. Now, under these two, meron pa tayong iba-ibang klase ng energy. Okay? So, ayan, meron ka pang iba-ibang klase ng energy dyan. Meron pang nasa gitna. Okay? So, may sound energy, may light energy, thermal, mechanical, is sasabihin ko lamang po, didiscuss ko lamang yung mga pinaka-importante. Thermal energy is also called heat energy. Mechanical energy is the energy of machines. Okay? So, pag sinabi mong mechanical engineer, these are the ones that make machines. Okay, so mechanical energy, the energy in machines, energy of objects in motion. Electrical energy, of course, that's the one that gives us electricity. Magnetic energy would be the one that causes push or pull. Chemical energy, these are the ones that you find in food, in fuel, in batteries. Okay, so sa gasolina mo, sa pagkain mo, sa baterya, chemical energy po yan. Elastic energy, energy stored in objects that are stretched. So sa mga lastiko, elastic energy po yan. Nuclear energy is the one that is in your nucleus, in your atoms. And of course, gravitational energy is the one possessed by an object that is above the Earth's surface. Okay, so meron siyang gravitational energy. Sound energy, light energy, you already know what this means. Okay, so these are the different forms of energy. And again, according to the law of conservation of energy that we have, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. It can only be converted from one form to another. So ano nang nangyari when your alcohol is lighted, or your lamp is lighted? What happened to the energy of alcohol? Now, we know that alcohol is a form of substance. Okay, so isa siyang chemical compound. So what we have here would be a chemical energy. Chemical energy po yan. And of course, sinabi natin, hindi na to po pwedeng maging answer and C and D. We only have A and B as our probable choices now. Ang only difference is that letter A says from chemical to mechanical. Okay, and now I have mentioned mechanical energy po is that is possessed by machines, okay, by those objects that are moving. And so the correct answer here would be letter B. It is transformed from chemical to light and heat energy. Light, of course, because it gives us light, and heat because, of course, mainit ang iyong lampara. Okay, so letter B is the correct answer. I think a lot of you got the correct answer. Congratulations, good job. Now we go to number 12. Radium was discovered by. Sino yung nakadiskubre ng radium? Okay, na ginamit din siya sa pag-cure ng cancer, no? Chemotherapy. Okay, so what's your answer for number 12? Okay, a lot of you are answering letter A. Okay, so number 12, again, radium was discovered by, is it letter A, Pierre and Marie Curie, letter B, Albert von Haller, letter C, Joseph John Thomson, or letter D, Albert Einstein? Okay, so sabi ni Sir Jeffrey Arida ay lumabas ito sa LET 2019. Sabi ko nga po sa inyo ay paulit-ulit lamang po ng ang questions sa LET, paulit-ulit lamang po, nire-recycle lang po siya. Okay, so as I have mentioned before, we are going to update our review materials, update all the materials that we have, we'll edit it, then if it's ready to publish, then we are going to inform you. Okay, so sabi ni Ma'am Aida, A na lang. Okay, A na lang. Karamihan ba A yung answer? All right, now, the correct answer, of course, would be letter A, Pierre and Marie Curie. Pierre and Marie Curie, they are husband and wife. Okay, so husband and wife po sila. And they won the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1903 for their work on spontaneous radioactivity. And of course, because of their discovery of radium. Okay, so that's Pierre and Marie Curie. Now, let's go over the different people that we have there. J.J. Thomson. Okay, so this is choice C. Ang sa letters nyo kanina, si Thomson. Thomson po came up with the plum pudding model of the atom, and siya po, very important, siya po yung nakadiskubre ng electrons. Okay, so he was the one who discovered electrons, that's J.J. Thomson, and he gave us the plum pudding model of an atom. Okay, so that's by J.J. Thomson. Now, we go to the remaining people that we have there. Si Albert von Haller naman, he wrote several books. Okay, so he wrote several science books. One would be for anatomy. Meron din siyang sinulat for physiology. So he was a very famous author during his time. That's Alberto von Haller or Albert von Haller. And of course, you have Lolo Einstein. Alam naman natin si Lolo Einstein. I think he's one of the most famous scientists, if not the most famous. He gave us the theory of relativity. Yung theory of relativity po would be E equals mc squared. Okay, yan po yung theory of relativity natin. Alam natin na si Einstein is a genius. Okay, nasa 160 plus yung kanyang IQ. Alright, so those are the people involved in our question. Again, letter A is the correct answer. That's Pierre and Marie Curie. Now we go to number 13. Fossils are most likely to be found in letter A, ocean floor. Letter B, sedimentary rocks. Letter C, igneous rocks. Letter D, metamorphic rocks. Where can we usually find fossils? When you say fossils, these are the remains of dead materials. Okay, so dead plants and animals mo, pag natabunan sila ng bato, pag natabunan sila ng lupa, eventually, after thousands of years, ay nagiging fossil sila. Nagiging source din sila ng fuel. That's why we have what we call fossil fuel. Okay, so where do you usually see fossils? Is it on the ocean floor, sedimentary rocks, igneous rocks, or metamorphic rocks? Okay, now we know how fossils are created. So yung fossil mo po, how is it created pag meron namatay na iwan siya sa lupa? For example, yung mga buto niya na iwan sa lupa, yung namatay na animal, for example, yung buto niya na iwan sa lupa, pag natambakan po yon ng maraming particles, maraming sediments, maraming materials, at nag-form po ng layers, eventually, if someone will dig it after thousands of years, the person can see the preserved remains. Okay, nakaukit po siya, naka-form po siya ng fossils. So those would be your fossils. All right, so is it created on the ocean floor? Is it found in the sedimentary rocks, igneous rocks, metamorphic rocks? So these three here are the different types of rocks that we have, and I'm going to discuss it first before we go to the correct answer. So again, we have the three types of rocks here: igneous, metamorphic, and sedimentary rocks. Now we start with the process of making them, process of producing them. For igneous rocks, this is formed from cooled hot materials through crystallization. The process is called crystallization. So galing po siya sa mainit na materials. Okay, now there are two types for this. Po pwedeng extrusive siya or intrusive. Ang kinaiba lang po ng pagkakaiba lang ng extrusive and intrusive. Extrusive, this is formed outside of the earth. Okay, outside the surface of the earth. Ang intrusive naman ay na-form siya sa loob ng surface of the earth, meaning nasa ilalim siya ng lupa na form. It is a type of igneous rock formed under the surface of the earth. So there are two types of igneous rocks, extrusive and intrusive. Now, I'd also like to discuss the difference between magma and lava. Ano nga ba yung pagkakaiba? Lumalabas din ito sa LEP. When you say magma, it is still molten materials found inside the earth. Pag lumabas na siya, for example, nung pumutok si Bulkang Taal, nung lumabas yung magma, pumunta na siya sa surface of the earth, then you'd call it lava na. Okay, so that's the difference between magma and lava. Magma, when it's still inside the earth, and lava once it is expelled outside on the surface of the earth. Now, we go to the second type of rock, which is your metamorphic rock. This one is formed by heat and pressure. Okay, dahil sa heat and pressure, na-form po yung metamorphic rock. This is formerly another type of rock. So originally, pag sinabi mong metamorphic rock, originally, it would be an igneous rock or sedimentary rock. Pero dahil sa heat and pressure, ay na-change siya into metamorphic rock. So meta there means change, and morph would mean form. So that's why we say metamorphic rock is a type of rock, previously an igneous rock or a sedimentary rock, which has changed its form because of heat and pressure. Okay, so marble po, yung slate nyo, these are types of metamorphic rock. Now, yung sedimentary rock mo naman, these are formed when sediments are compacted and cemented. Ang tawag sa prosesong ito would be lithification. Okay, sediments are compacted and cemented through lithification process. For example, meron kang mga sediments, mga maliliit na particles ng buhangin or ng bato. Pag naging compact ito, naging sementado ito, you call the process lithification, and what you form would be a sedimentary rock. So sometimes this is called a sandwich rocks. Bakit? Dahil may iba-ibang layers po siya. Pag pumunta kayo sa beach, pag meron kayo nakitang bato na may iba-ibang kulay siya, may iba-ibang linya siya, that would be your sandwich rock, and that would be your sedimentary rocks. And very important, this is what we have here, this is where fossils are found. Okay, so dyan po nakikita yung fossils dahil alam naman natin, for fossils to be formed, there has to be layering of rocks on it. Okay, so this is the correct answer. It is where fossils are found, and that would be letter B, sedimentary rocks. Dyan din po nakikita, or may common question din sa LEP, what is the most common type of rock in a mountain? Okay, the most common type of rock in a mountain, wag po kayong mag-choose ng igneous rocks dahil you might think that volcanoes are also mountains, and so you'd choose igneous rocks, but the correct answer would still be sedimentary rocks, okay, because mountains are formed through layering. Okay, so number 13 would be letter B. Letter B po, sedimentary rocks. All right, 14. 4 circular holes of equal sizes are arranged from top to bottom 2 centimeters apart into a large plastic bottle. The holes were covered with tape and the bottle was filled with water. The tape was then removed. Which of the following statements will best describe the result? Is it letter A? The sudden release of water will cause the bottle to collapse. Letter B, water from each hole will squirt out the same distance from the bottle. Letter C, water from the bottom hole will squirt out the farthest. Letter D, water from the top hole will squirt out the farthest. Okay, so meron kang plastic bottle. Okay, so or meron kang, for example, meron kang disposable na cup. Nilagyan mo siya ng 4 circular holes that are 2 centimeter apart and you've arranged them from top to bottom. Tapos nilagyan mo ng tape at nilagyan mo ng tubig ang iyong cup or ang iyong bote, okay, yung plastic bottle mo. And then suddenly, you took the tape. Okay, which one do you think would you observe? Is it letter A, the sudden release of water will cause the bottle to collapse, matutumba yung bote mo dahil sa release ng tubig? Letter B, water from each hole will squirt out the same distance from the bottle. Okay, so yung 4 na butas dyan, pare-pareho yung pagtagas ng tubig. Letter C, water from the bottom hole will squirt out the farthest. Yung nasa bottom hole mo, yung pinakamalalim na butas, yun yung pinakamalayo yung pagtagas niya. Or letter D, water from the top hole will squirt out the farthest. What do you think is the correct answer for 14? A lot of you are answering letter B. Okay, some letter C. All right, let's take a look at the answer. So this is what happens. Okay, but in this example, tatlo lamang ang butas. Now, as you can see, the one that will squirt out the farthest would be the bottom hole. The most bottom hole or the bottommost hole, the water here will squirt out the farthest. And the reason for this is because of pressure. Okay, so dahil mas grabe yung pressure, dahil mas nasa ilalim siya, dito mas mag-squirt out ang iyong tubig. Okay, so the correct answer would be letter C. Water from the bottom hole will squirt out the farthest. So letter C po ang correct answer. Okay, so letter C is the correct answer for number 14. We go to number 15. Symbiosis is defined by biologists as individuals of different species living together in an intimate association regardless of whether the association is harmful, neutral, or beneficial. All of the following are examples of symbiosis except A, humans and tapeworms. Letter B, dogs and ticks. Letter C, ants and aphids. Letter D, cats and mice. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot dito sa number 15? Okay, many of you are already answering for number 15. Okay, so sabi dito, symbiosis. Meron tayong tinatawag na symbiosis sa biology. And this means species or individuals of different species live together in intimate association. So napaka-close na relationship nila, pero sometimes harmful yung relationship, sometimes neutral, sometimes naman beneficial, sometimes meron namang magandang na idudulot ang kanilang relationship. So all of the following are examples. Meron lamang mali dyan. So saan dito ang hindi symbiosis? Which one is not symbiotic? Now we go to the next slide for our discussion. Now again, we have 3 types of relationships for symbiosis. Ang symbiosis po ay may 3 klase. The first one is mutualism. Second one is commensalism. The third one is parasitism. Sa mutualism po, of course, the feeling is mutual. Happy, happy. Happy silang dalawa, okay? Everybody happy sa mutualism. The feeling is mutual. So yung example natin dito would be your sea anemone and yung clownfish. Ang tawag dito, si Nemo. Okay, so Nemo is an example of the clownfish and sea anemones and clownfish would always live together in a symbiotic relationship. And both of them have benefits from this. Okay, so that would be mutualism. If both of you are benefiting, so that would be mutualism. Another example for this would be your carabao and your tagak. Okay, so the carabao and the tagak, yung puting bird na nakapatong sa likod ng carabao, no? The tagak gets nutrients, get food The taga could get food from the back of the carabao, so that would be its benefit. And the carabao, on the other hand, would become cleaner. Okay, the carabao's body would become cleaner because of the eating of the taga from its body. Okay, so that's also mutualism. So both of them are happy. Now, another type of symbiotic relationship is commensalism. Commensalism naman, yung isa happy, yung isa walang effect. Okay, not affected. Hindi siya happy, hindi din siya harmed. Okay, so again, commensalism, one is happy, one benefits, the other one is unaffected. One example here would be your whale and your barnacle. Yung barnacle dito, yung mga maliliit na nakapatong dyan sa body ng iyong whale. Okay, so nakapatong siya, yung barnacle, siya yung may benefit. Yung whale mo naman ay walang pakialam. Okay, so it's not benefited, it's also unharmed. So that's commensalism. Commensalism po yan. Walang benefit yung isa. Another example for this, which is common in the let, would be the orchid and the tree. Di ba yung orchids natin or sometimes yung fern nakadikit sa puno, sa trunk ng tree mo. Tatanungin ka ng let, what type of relationship is this? What type of ecological relationship is this? Of course, that's symbiosis, specifically commensalism. So yung orchid mo is getting nutrients from the tree, getting moisture from the tree, but the tree is not affected. Okay, so that's also commensalism. Now, the third type would be parasitism. In parasitism naman, one benefits, the other is harmed. Okay, so the other is sad because he is harmed. So the one that benefits, you'd call this the parasite. So example natin dito is tick. Okay, so your tick is a parasite. And the one that is harmed, your dog in this instance, the dog here would be called the host. Okay, so you have the parasite and the host. All right, so that's your parasitism. So ikaw, if you are looking at these three types of symbiotic relationships, mutualism, pareho kayong happy, commensalism, may isang happy, may isang deadma, or parasitism, yung isa happy, yung isa sad, ikaw, pag titingnan mo yung three types of symbiotic relationships na to, anong klaseng relationship meron kayo? Ha? Anong klaseng relationship meron kayo? Is it mutualism? If it's mutualism, that's good. Okay, well and good. Commensalism, ikaw ba ay palaging happy, na-i-inspire ka niya or whatever, pero siya ay wala naman, deadma lang sa'yo, okay, unaffected. Or is it parasitism? Okay, siya yung happy, ikaw yung hindi. Okay, ikaw yung laging hinihututan. Huwag naman sana. Alright, so these are the three types of symbiotic relationships. Okay, so Ma'am Cyril, is it ma'am or sir? Kami ma'am ay mutualism. Good for you. Okay, so Ma'am Sabilissima, ouch. Bakit po ma'am? Parasitism po ba? Okay, so these are the three types of symbiotic relationships natin. Going back to the question bago kayo magsiiyakan dyan. No? Ito naman yung ating ants and aphids. Ants and aphids natin, this is choice C nyo sa ating question. Choice C, this is the ant and this is the aphids. I don't know what you call this in Tagalog. Pero sa amin kasi sa Iloilo, tawag namin dito ay tigi-tigi. Tigi-tigi. Your ants are getting some nutrients from the aphids. Kumukuha siya ng fruit nectars from the aphids. And yung aphids naman get the protection from the ants. Okay, so tigi-tigi itong tawag natin. Kung kumakain kayo ng atis, tapos yung may nakikita kayong mga namumuti-muti sa atis, yan yung aphids. Okay, yan yung tinatawag na aphids. So between your ants and your aphids, the relationship is also symbiosis, and that's mutualism. So pareho silang may benefit. Okay, so going back to our question here, which one is not an example of symbiotic or symbiotic relationship? Humans and tapeworms, this is parasitism. So pasok po siya. One is happy, one is harmed. Letter B, dogs and ticks. This was our example a while ago. It's also parasitism. So it's still symbiotic. And letter C, ants and aphids, as I have mentioned, this is mutualism. Pareho sila may benefit. So this is also symbiotic, which means that the correct answer would be letter D, cats and mice. Cats and mice, the type of relationship that we have here would be predation. Okay, so may predator at merong prey. Merong predator. Predator mo ay yung kumakain at prey mo naman yung kinakain. Okay? So yung cat mo dito, the cat is the predator, while the mouse, the mice are the prey. Okay? So yung tamang sagot would be letter D, the cats and the mice. It's not symbiotic, it's not symbiosis, but it is predation. Okay? So nakarelate kayo sa symbiotic relationship. Ma'am Donnelly, commensalism. So wala siyang pakialam. Sir Jeffrey, mutualism, good for you. All right, now we proceed to number 16. How much money did you bring for shopping? Which of the following answers this question? Is it letter A, I have some change in my purse at home? Letter B, none, but I have a credit card. Letter C, I have 500 pesos inside the envelope in my desk. Letter D, all the cash I have was spent at the grocery store yesterday. Okay, number 16 in English. What do you think would be the best response to the question, how much money did you bring for shopping? Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot dito? A lot of you are answering letter B, B, and that is the correct answer. Okay, so letter B po is yung tamang sagot natin. So number 16, it's none, but I have a credit card. Okay, very easy. 16 is letter B. Now we go to number 17. Adults acquire new words and experience primarily through, is it A, casual explanation from peers? Letter B, formal instruction in school? Letter C, exposure to their use? Or letter D, use of thesaurus? Paano ba tayo nakaka-acquire or nakaka-learn ng bagong words and experience? Okay, is it letter A, casual explanation dahil sa pag-explain ng iyong peers? Peers would be a person of the same status, of the same age as you have. Is it letter B, formal instruction in school? So tinuturo ba sa school kung ganito, masaktan dahil sa pag-ibig? Tinuro ba yan ni sir sa inyo? Okay? Letter C, exposure to their use. Dahil na-expose ka, dahil naranasan mo. Or letter D, the use of thesaurus. Thesaurus would be just a book of synonyms, of words of the same meaning. Okay, so the correct answer here, pretty obvious, it's letter C. Okay, so C, exposure to their use. We learn new words, new experience because napagdaanan natin. So okay lang kahit nasaktan ka, at least nagka-gain ka ng experience. So sa susunod mong jowa, hindi ka na magiging tanga. Okay? Hindi ka na magpapaloko. Alam mo na kung anong gagawin mo, di ba? So natututo tayo dahil sa exposure natin sa kung anumang experience meron tayo sa mundo sa ating pamumuhay. Okay? So 17, letter C, exposure to their use. Okay naman, Sir Jeffrey, natuto na ba? Alright, so sabi ni Ma'am Checky, lumabas ito sa LET, September 2019. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, paulit-ulit lang itong LET. So alam namin kung anong mga lalabas na mga items sa inyong LET, sa inyong board exam. Alright, next one. According to the current linguistic theories, which of the following is the best definition of the meaning of a word? Okay, so saan dito yung best definition ng kahulugan ng isang word? Is it letter A, its general dictionary definition? Letter B, the object it refers to? Letter C, its corresponding idea in the mind? Letter D, its use in a particular situation? Okay, so ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Sa number 18. Which of the following is the best definition of the meaning of a word? Is it because of its general dictionary definition? Dahil sa dictionary definition niya? Is it the object it refers to? Is it the corresponding idea in the mind? So pag narinig mo siya, yan na yung idea mo sa mind mo. So yan kaya yung tamang meaning ng isang word. Is it letter B, no, the object it refers to? Dahil sa isang bagay na sumisimbolo sa kanya. Or letter D, it's used in a particular situation. Dahil sa gamit niya sa isang sitwasyon. Okay, the correct answer here would be letter D. It's used in a particular situation. Dahil sa gamit niya sa isang bagay. For example, bigyan ko kayo ng example. Kunwari, yung word na nota. Okay, alam naman natin ang ibig sabihin ng word na nota. Alam niyo, di ba? Ang meaning ng word na nota. Ano nga ba yung meaning ng word na nota? Nota is notes. Diba? Yung sa music, if you're a music teacher, for example, or if you're someone who's a vocal coach, okay, then you know what nota is, what notes would mean. Now, if you use this in another situation, in another sitwasyon sa ibang konteksto, for example, in the let, iba naman yung meaning ng nota. Alam niyo ba kung anong meaning ng nota sa let? Yes, we have Sir CK or Ma'am CK. We have 25 items for general ed, and then 25 items for ProfEd. Okay, so yung tanong ko nga sa inyo, I was talking about the notes. If you're talking about the notes in music, for example, you know what notes are. Yung nota, yung mga sumisimbolo sa kada tone na nasa tono. So sa let, for example, pag ginamit mo siya sa ibang sitwasyon, iba naman yung magiging meaning niya. Ano ba yung meaning ng nota sa let? Sino makakasagot ng tama? Alam niyo ba kung anong meaning ng nota sa let? Walang may alam? Okay, so sabi dito, sa ating number 18 is it's used in a particular situation. The correct answer is it's used in a particular situation. Grades, grade, note, average. So nota is a grade. So you mean ang ibig niyo sabihin ng nota sa let is grade? No. Nota in let actually means none of the above. Okay? So pag magtuturo kayo, magre-review kayo ng let, usually I would just say nota, none of the above. Okay? Now, if you hear your friends of the third sex, your gay friends, for example, at narinig mo yung sinasabi nila na nota, alam mo na kung anong ibig sabihin yon, di ba? Iba naman yung meaning nila ng word na nota. You would presume that they are not talking about the none of the above. Okay? So iba yung meaning ng isang word sa iba-ibang konteksto, sa iba-ibang sitwasyon. So depende sa sitwasyon, depende sa konteksto. That's why number 18, the correct answer would be letter D. All right, 19. Teachers have a responsibility for the development of children's competencies in basic concepts and principles of free speech. Therefore, if you want children to develop their own voices in a free society, teachers must support the democratic experiences in the daily classroom activities through letter A, considerations for cultural and gender differences. Letter B, concepts and principles of free speech. Letter C, indoctrination of the principles of society. Letter D, developing children's citizenship competencies. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 19? Meron tayong responsibility as teachers to develop in our kids, in our students, the basic concepts and principles ng free speech. If you want your kids to have their own voice, they can voice out their opinion. Okay, we should support them by, what do you think are we going to do? Letter A, considerations for cultural and gender differences. Letter B, concepts and principles of free speech. Letter C, indoctrination of the principles of society. Letter D, developing children's citizenship competencies. Okay, this one is very easy. It's pretty obvious. It's letter B, concepts and principles of free speech. Kalakip na po yan yung letter A. So magiging parte na ng letter B mo yung letter A mo. So dapat ituruan mo sila kung ano ba yung konsepto, ano ba yung mga principles ng free speech. Okay, it's already very obvious. It's already stated in your question. So letter B is the correct answer. All right, 20. Alin sa mga sumusunod ang pinakatamang pangungusap? Ang pabrikang pinagtatrabahuhan nila sa amin ay bagot malaki. Ang bagot malaking pabrikang pinagtatrabahuhan nila ay malapit sa amin. Ang pinagtatrabahuhan nilang malapit sa amin ay bagot malaking pabrika. D, ang pabrikang malapit sa amin, bagot malaki, ay pinagtatrabahuhan nila. Okay, which one do you think is the correct answer for number 20? Which one is the best sentence? Which one is the most correct sentence? Okay, a lot of you are answering. Many are choosing letter B, and that would be the correct answer. Okay, so letter B is the correct answer for number 20. Ang bago't malaking pabrikang pinagtatrabahuhan nila ay malapit sa amin. That's letter B for number 20. Now we go to number 21. Alin sa mga sumusunod ang pinakatamang pangungusap? Filipino pa rin. Nagpapabata ang pulbos sa kutis na klinik. Letter B, nagpapabata sa kutis ng pulbos na klinik. Letter C, nagpapabata ng mukha sa kutis ng pulbos na klinik. Letter D, nagpapabata sa kutis ng mukha ang pulbos na klinik. Okay, which one do you think is the correct answer for number 21? Okay, many of you are already sending your answers. Okay, for number 21, the correct answer here would be letter D. Nagpapabata sa kutis ng mukha ang pulbos na klinik. Okay, so letter D is the correct answer for number 21. Again, that's letter D. All right, now we go to number 22. Piliin ang gawin ng pagsasalita. Kasiyahan ko ang makitang kayo ay nagmamahalan. Is it letter A, pangarap? Letter B, pagkokontrol ng kilos. Letter C, pagkuha ng impormasyon. Letter D, pagbabahagi ng damdamin. What's the correct answer for number 22? Okay, I can see many of you are choosing letter D. And that's the correct answer. Pagbabahagi ng damdamin. All right, now before we go to question number 23, we are down to our last 3 questions. I'd like you to please send me your scores at the moment. Ilan na yung tamang sagot niyo until now for our GenEd? What is your current score? Okay, some of you are already sending your scores. Good, good. Okay. Ma'am Bellissima, next time, please get a piece of paper. Even if you're late, habol po. Okay. Sir Loy, kahahabol lamang. Okay lang po. Habol po kayo. All right, so again, we said you should at least get 60% of our GenEd items, and 60% of 25 would be 15. So dapat at least maka 15 kayo. Okay, so we're down to our last 3 questions. Last 3 questions. Wala pang mali. Very good. Okay, no errors yet. Okay, Ma'am Joy, it's okay. All right, now we go to number 23. Ang kaugnayan ng pagkakapatay kina Burgos, Gomez at Zamora sa panitikang Pilipino ay letter A, napanatiling masigla ang diwang Pilipino. Letter B, nakagising sa damdaming makabayan ng mga Pilipino. Letter C, natutong lumabag sa batas at lumaban sa may kapangyarihan ang mga Pilipino. Letter D, na impluwensyahan ang diwang alipin ng mga Pilipino. What do you think is the correct answer for number 23? Ano nga ba ang naging kaugnayan ng pagkakapatay ng Burgos, Gomez at Zamora? Of course, we know this to be the 3 martyr priests, okay? Yung gomborsa nga tinatawag. Ano yung kanilang kaugnayan sa panitikang Pilipino natin? Is it letter A, napanatiling masigla ang diwang Pilipino? So, na-maintain ang diwang Pilipino, naging masigla. Letter B, nakagising sa damdaming makabayan ng mga Pilipino. Letter C, natutong lumabag sa batas at lumaban sa may kapangyarihan ng mga Pilipino. Letter D, na-impluwensyahan ang diwang alipin. Now, sinabi ko sa inyo, okay, so Ma'am Checky is trying to say that lumabas din ito sa last na LET 2019. Again, yes, Sir CK. Sir CK also has a question. Will you do review till LET is not yet coming? Yes, until September. So we are going to have our review continuously. Then, of course, you cannot just prepare for the LET for a week or for a month. Okay, since we still have a lot of time, we are going to take this as an opportunity. And since wala pa po kaming pasok, okay, so we don't know what will happen when August comes. We might have just blended, or we might just have online classes. Kami po dito sa South Carolina, we might have just online classes, so we can still continue with our review. Alright, so again, sabi nga ni Ma'am Checky, lumabas din ito sa 2019. Again, inuulit-ulit ko po na antabayanan nyo lagi yung mga videos ko, yung mga, especially yung mga GenEd discussions, especially yung live stream, dahil alam na po namin kung ano yung mga lumalabas sa LET. Alam na po namin, sabi ko nga, meron tayong test bank na, meron na kaming materials for the LET, and this is it nga, no? So kailangan lang namin talagang i-edit ito, tingnan kung may mga mali, kung may mga mali sa choices, at kung meron mang kailangang idagdag, syempre, ng mga items na mas bago, or meron kailangang i-edit. Okay, so once it is ready, I will be making an announcement. So again, the actual let sets, this one, yun po, yung ibang items dito na binibigay ko sa inyo ay galing na din po dito sa actual let sets. And of course, this is composed of several years of the LET. So, kada year po dito ng LET ay merong GenEd at ProfEd. So, kahit po yung iba dati sa amin, no, nung meron kaming review center, yung iba po ay dito talaga tumututok. So, sa aming review center dati, meron kaming tinatawag na final coaching. Pag final coaching na po namin, ito na talaga yung sinastudy nung aming mga students. So pagdating ng estudyante, parang naglilet siya kada araw. So usually yung final coaching namin would be for 2 weeks. So maglilet sila ng 2 weeks. So that means they arrive on time. They cannot arrive after we have started. So they answer the GenEd, they answer the ProfEd, na parang katulad din ng LET. So dire-diretso. And then after that, we discuss. Okay, so yan nga yung sabi ko, tutok kayo lagi at make sure that you hit that bell notification para alam nyo kung meron tayong bagong videos at kung meron tayong especially live stream. Dahil pag live stream kasi ay hindi ako masyadong nagbibigay ng items na freebie na nasa format na pwede nyong balikan. Okay, na wala akong masyadong soft copy. Meron na akong maliliit na freebies na binibigay. So tutok kayo, and especially since LET is a skill, test taking is a skill, hindi po siya namamana, hindi po guaranteed minsan na cum laude kayo, automatic makakapasa na kayo. Marami pong cum laude, magna cum laude minsan na hindi nakakapasa dahil kulang nga sa practice. Ang LET ay isang practice, so drill siya. Pag nakuha mo na yung flow ng question sa LET, ay maaring mas mabilis na sa inyo kung paano nyo ito masasagutan at masasagutan ng tama. Okay? So yan po, tutok lamang kayo palagi. I will try my best to help all of you. I would like all of you to pass the LET. I would like to see all of you, your pictures, your names on a tarp and saying na licensed teacher na kayo. May LPT na at the end of your name. Okay? So again, tutok lamang kayo. And of course, please don't skip our videos, don't skip the ads, don't abandon our videos. And if you may, share our YouTube channel, our Facebook page on your Facebook pages or your Facebook accounts. So in that way po, makakatulong tayo sa more people. We will have more classmates, more students in our live streams, okay, in our online class. Okay, now going back to our question here, sinabi ko din kanina, last time, sinabi ko din sa inyo na pag nagbasa kayo ng LET at pumili kayo ng tamang sagot, huwag niyong piliin yung may mga negative na words. Okay? So yung LET po, gusto niya lahat ideal, napaka-ideal, napakaganda, napakabuti ng teacher, for example. So don't choose those choices na merong mga negative words. By negative words, I mean, tingnan niyo po yung letter C nyo at letter D. Natutong lumabag sa batas. So, X na po ito. Hindi na to po pwede. Lumaban sa may kapangyarihan ang mga Pilipino. So, this is something negative. So, you cannot choose that as a correct answer. Letter D, na impluensyahan ang diwang alipin. Okay? So, alipin ba tayo mga Pilipino? Hindi naman. So, which means that by doing the process of elimination, you only have this as your probable answer. Is it napanatiling masigla ang diwang Pilipino or nakagising sa damdaming makabayan ng mga Pilipino? The correct answer would be letter B. Nakagising sa damdaming makabayan ng mga Pilipino. We all know that Gumborsa, when this happened, Dr. Jose Rizal was still very young. If I'm not mistaken, he was just around 11 years old, 9 to 11 years old. But Gomboza, he actually dedicated his second novel, El Filibusterismo, to Gomboza. Yung first novel, which is No Limitangere, Wag Mo Akong Salingin, Touch Me Not, he dedicated that to the entire nation, to my motherland. Okay, that was a dedication for No Limitangere, but for El Filibusterismo, he dedicated it to Gombursa. Okay, so it's letter B, nakagising sa damdaming makabayan ng mga Pilipino. All right, second to the last, we have number 24, walang tubig kahapon. Ito ay pangungusap na. Letter A, walang pandiwa, walang paksa, may panaguri, may paksa. Okay, ano kaya yung tamang sagot? Ma'am Nelma says, Ma'am Nelma is saying, Ma'am, sana may English din po. Yes, we are trying to work it out because we have our lectures nga nung meron pa kaming review center, meron pa kaming physical review center, and we have our lecturers because we were also including the major ship. Okay, so sinabi ko nga sa inyo, itong librong to, the red one, itong red cover na ito, meron siyang let's set. So GenEd and ProfEd, meron din kaming mga libro for major ship. So yung cover naman ng major ship naman would be blue, at lahat po na major ship meron. So we're trying to work it out. Me and my husband we're talking about it, and he asked me last night if I can make a letter to our previous lecturers per major, so we might come up with a live stream with them. So parang live stream din siya katulad nito, pero sila yung magtuturo sa inyo sa kada major. We will see if we can do that. But we are going to work it out. Okay, so Ma'am Checky is saying mahina masyadong signal. We'll wait po. Yes, Sir CK, even if you are already enrolled in a review center, you are still welcome to come here. Iba po pag meron kayong sources, credible sources of information din po. And of course, this is free, so you don't need to pay anything for our live streams. You're welcome, Ma'am Joy. Alright, so we go back. Walang tubig kahapon. Ito ay pangungusap na. Ano bang tawag sa mga pangungusap na to? Okay. Now, before we go to the correct answer, meron po tayong dalawang bahagi ng pangungusap, yung simuno at panaguri. Another term for simuno would be paksa. Paksa po, simuno or paksa. In English, this is your subject. And your predicate is your panaguri. Predicate po yung panaguri or yes, tama, no? So, predicate itong panaguri. So, simuno at panaguri, merong paksa, at panaguri, merong subject and predicate. Ito po yung dalawang bahagi ng ating pangungusap. Now, meron pong dalawang ayos ng pangungusap. Lumalabas din po ito sa let. Ang unang ayos po ay karaniwan. Ang karaniwang ayos ng pangungusap, ang panaguri ay nauuna at ang paksa ay nahuhuli. Ang iyong namang di karaniwang ayos, nauuna po ang paksa at nahuhuli ang panaguri. Ito po usually ang may word na I. Okay? So pag meron kayo nakitang word na I, may salitang I, ito po ay di karaniwang ayos. For example, pag sinabi mong si Sir Lucio ay pogi. Okay? So Sir Lucio ang ating paksa, ang ating simuno, at ang ating panaguri ay pogi. Ito po ay di karaniwang ayos ng pangungusap. So may dalawang ayos po ng pangungusap. Karaniwang ayos, nauuna yung panaguri, at nahuhuli yung paksa or yung simuno. Okay? Pero pag di karaniwang ayos naman, nauuna yung paksa, nahuhuli yung panaguri, at ito po yung may salitang I. Okay, now for example, if you have this, masayahin ang mga Pilipino, ito ba ay karaniwan or di karaniwan? Ano ba yung tamang sagot niyo dito? Karaniwan ba to or di karaniwan? Okay? Ito ay karaniwan. Tama kayo, no? So, ito ay karaniwang klase o karaniwang ayos ng pangungusap. Wala pong salitang ay. Paano naman pag ganito? Si Napoles at Gloria ay may kuto. Si Napoles at Gloria ay may kuto. Alright, so our second example, ito naman po ay di karaniwan. Nauuna yung simuno at nahuhuli yung panaguri. So meron kang word na I, this is di karaniwan. So di karaniwan po ito. Now going back to our topic here, ang tamang sagot po dito sa number 24, ito po ang pangungusap na walang paksa. Wala kang simuno, wala kang paksa. So letter B po is the correct answer. Now we have several types of sentences na walang paksa sa Filipino. For example, ay ang pasasalamat. Pag sinabi mong maraming salamat, wala din siyang paksa. Okay? Panagot, for example, walang anuman, wala din siyang paksa. Okay? So these are the different types of sentences na walang paksa sa Filipino. Now, for our freebie, I will be giving you your freebie for this live stream today. Our freebie would be the uri ng mga pangungusap at mga pangungusap na walang paksa. So if you may, please comment your email address. Comment niyo po yung email ad niyo dyan para po masend ko sa inyo yung ating freebie, which is uri ng mga pangungusap at mga pangungusap na walang paksa. Ang uri po ng mga pangungusap natin, marami po tayong klase nito. Merong payak, merong tambalan, merong hugnayan, at meron ding langkapan. Okay? So iba-ibang uri ng pangungusap. At isisend ko din po yung mga pangungusap na walang paksa. So please comment your email ad so I can send you your freebies. Okay? I'll be sending it today. So again, for those of you who were in our previous live stream but did not receive the freebie for that live stream, yung freebie natin doon ay yung mga idioma. Please also tell me if you have not received it, because that means I did not have your email address because I've already sent it to some other people. Okay, so yung mga taong nakita ko nag-comment nun at meron namang email address sa akin na nakatago, na-send ko na po sa kanila yung freebie. Alright, now we go to the next one, the last one for GenEd. A computer system is made up of actual physical machines known as, anong tawag mo sa actual physical machines ng computer? Is it letter A, monitor, letter B, hardware, letter C, printer, letter D, software? Again, please comment your email address so I can send your freebie. Don't forget your email ad. Ma'am Aida, is it wilmaarandela@gmail.com or at yahoo.com? Okay, now going back to the last question that we have here, a computer system is made up of actual physical machines. Yung mga halimbawa dito would be the CPU, the keyboard, the printer, the scanner. Ano ba yung tawag natin sa actual physical machines na ito? And of course, the correct answer would be hardware. Ang monitor po yung screen ng yung computer. Okay, printer, you all know what a printer is. Software po would be the programs that you have in your computer. So software, maaari yung Microsoft, yung Adobe, these are softwares. Okay, pero ang hardware mo, hardware po ang tawag sa physical machines na meron ng isang computer system. Alright, so the correct answer for number 25 is letter B, hardware. Okay, letter B, hardware. Okay, I hope you have had a score of at least 15 for our GenEd, that's 60%. Okay, so we take a 10-minute break. Please go to the restroom if you may do so. Stretch out if you may, if you need to. We are going to be back by 8:50, and we'll be back with ProfEd. Okay, ProfEd would still be 25 items. All right. Now we proceed with our ProfEd. Okay, again, for those of you who just came in, make sure that you wrote ProfEd 1 until 25. Then later on, we are going to get the sum of your scores in GenEd and ProfEd. So dapat po ay naka 30 points kayo for you to get 60% of our discussion today, of our items today. Okay, so that's 50%, 50 points. So that's 60% of 50 points would just be 30. Okay, 30 points. All right, now we continue with ProfEd. Okay, question number 1. How can you help a habitual borrower of money get rid of his habit? If you know someone who always borrows money from you, okay, what are you going to do? Is it letter A, let him do something for you in return for the money you lent him? Letter B, direct him to others. Letter C, do not lend him anymore. Letter D, ask for a collateral for the cash he is loaning. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 1? If you know someone who is a habitual borrower of money, how can you help him stop this habit? Okay, how can you help this person stop this habit? Again, your goal is to make him stop his habit. Is it letter A, let him do something for you in return for the money you lent him? So, pag meron siyang utang sa'yo, kung mangungutang siya sa'yo, dapat meron siyang serbisyo. So, kunwari, meron kong ipapagawa sa kanya. Letter B, direct him to others. So, sabihin mo na doon ka umutang sa isa nating kaibigan. Hindi ako makakapautang sa'yo ngayon. Letter C, do not lend him anymore. Letter D, ask for a collateral for the cash he is loaning. The correct answer here would be letter C. Do not lend him anymore. Wag mo na pong pahiramin dahil ang gusto niyo po ay ma-help siya para ma-stop na po yung habit niya of borrowing money. Habitual. It's a habit. Hindi po sinabi ditong dahil lang sa pangangailangan, pero naging habit na po niya yung pagbaborrow. Remember, for a habit to be stopped, you should also do negative feedback or negative reinforcement. And negative reinforcement means getting your benefit, getting the benefit, getting the reward. So kinuha mo yung reward, wag mo na siyang ipapaborrow ng money. Okay, so letter C is the correct answer. Now, number 2. Periodic checks on students' work with a smile and pat on the shoulder effectively reinforce good study habits. As an example of letter A, discrimination reinforcement. Letter B, variable ratio schedule. Letter C, continuous reinforcement. Or letter D, fixed interval and variable ratio schedule. Okay, well, what do you think is the answer for number 2? Okay, so periodic checks. You check students' work periodically, may schedule ka in checking, and you do it with a smile and pat on the shoulder. What does this effectively reinforce, or how does this effectively reinforce good study habits? Is it letter A, discrimination reinforcement, letter B, variable ratio schedule, letter C, continuous reinforcement, or is it letter D, fixed interval and variable ratio schedule? Now, we go to the different schedules of reinforcement. The first one that we have here would be continuous and partial. Pag sinabi mo pong, these are the two main parts. Pag sinabi mo pong continuous reinforcement, araw-araw, gabi-gabi. Kada gawa niya nito ay bibigyan mo siya ng reinforcement. One classic example for this is when you are training a puppy. If you are training your pet, for example. So for example, tinitrain mo siya how to do high five. So kada high five niya, bibigyan mo siya ng pagkain. Every time na mag-high five siya, bibigyan mo siya ng pagkain. That's continuous reinforcement. Every time that it is done, you give him the reinforcement, or you reinforce the pet. Okay? So kahit na anong oras, kahit na araw, kahit na gabi, kahit na nasaan kayo, if he does it, then you give him the reinforcement. That will be continuous. Partial naman, paminsan-minsan na lang. So you do this when the dog, the puppy, has already made or has already learned the trick. Okay? So pag alam na niya yung trick, you don't give him the reward or the reinforcement easily na. Hindi na kada high five niya ay meron ka agad. So maybe you can do it in after 5 high fives, or minsan naman after 3 high fives, minsan naman after 10 high fives, okay? So, iba-iba or minsan, sa araw na to, bibigyan mo siya ng 2, the following day, bibigyan mo siya ng 3, okay? So, partial na. Hindi na siya continuous. Now, for your partial type of reinforcement, we have 2 types. Okay, so 2 types there. The first one will be interval. Ang interval po is based on time. Ang ratio naman is based on the number of responses. So pag interval mo, this is based on time, and you have 2 types for this. Meron kang fixed at meron kang variable. Example po, ang fixed mo, fixed reinforcement mo, for example, sa classroom, is a weekly quiz. So kada week, magbibigay ka talaga ng quiz. Okay? There is a fixed time for it, fixed interval. So after a week, for example, every Friday, magbibigay ka talaga ng quiz. Ang variable mo naman, walang specific time na binigay. Okay? So, you can give a pop quiz. Sometimes it's on a Tuesday, sometimes a Thursday, Friday, Monday, kahit kailan po pwede ka magbigay ng pop quiz. That's variable interval. Now, as to the ratio, sinabi ko, ratio would depend on the number of responses. Pag fixed naman ang ratio mo, every time you do it, you are going to receive the reinforcement. So example natin dito would be salary. Every time na mag-work ka, may salary ka na tinatanggap. Okay, so that's the number of responses. Fixed yung reinforcement mo in terms with the number of responses. So every time na may work, may salary. Pag nag-work ka, for example, in an hourly basis, pag nag-work ka ng 5 hours, batay din sa 5 hours of work mo ang iyong salary. Pag nag-work ka ng 7 hours in this day, or on this day, 7 hour din yung salary na ibibigay sa iyo. Yung variable naman, it does not have a fixed response to your number of responses. So, for example, dito would be when you're playing lotto. Hindi maaari na sabihin na after na makataya ka ng 5 ay mananalo ka na. Or after makataya ka ng 10 beses, mananalo ka na. It is variable. Wala po siyang fixed na ratio of responses bago mo matanggap yung reinforcement. Minsan nga hanggang sa mamatay ng isang tao, hindi talaga siya nananalo sa lotto. Okay? Because of course, we know that lotto is a game of chance. Alright, so going back to our question here, sabi ng question mo, meron kang periodic checks on students' work. By periodic here, we mean there's a schedule in checking. Okay, so maybe every 2 hours, chine-check mo yung work nila, or every week, chine-check mo yung work nila. When you say periodic, there is a fixed interval, okay, fixed time. And then, it says there's smile and pat on the shoulder to effectively reinforce good study habits. So you cannot say that this is, many of you have answered continuous reinforcement, but you cannot say that this is continuous reinforcement. Hindi po nyo masasabing continuous reinforcement ito dahil sa term na periodic checks. So meaning this is partial, meron siyang fixed interval. And the correct answer here would be letter D, fixed interval and variable ratio schedule. Okay, so fixed interval siya, weekly, for example, or hourly, chine-check mo. Periodically, you check students' work and you smile and pat on the shoulder effectively. Hindi naman na kada pat mo, kada check mo ay pat ka agad or smile ka agad. Sometimes you just say, okay, continue, proceed, okay, or carry on. All right, so the correct answer here would be letter D. Now we go to number 3. Social development means acquisition of the ability to behave in accordance with. When do you say that someone has developed socially? Okay, when the person has acquired the ability to behave in accordance with or following what? Letter A, social expectations, stereotype behavior, social integration, or universal laws. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 3? All right, now going back to our question here, social development means acquisition of the ability to behave in accordance with blank. Now, i-discuss ko lang po itong stereotype. Alam naman po siguro ninyo kung anong stereotype. Pag sinabi mong stereotype, kinakahon mo ang isang grupo ng tao. For example, pag sinabi mong all Chinese are germ carriers, okay? Or all Chinese people are corrupt, for example. So that's stereotyping. Kunwari, pag sinabi mong lahat ng Ilocano ay kuripot, that's stereotyping. Lahat ng Kapampangan ay magaling magluto. That's stereotyping. Lahat ng mga Ilongga ay malalambing. Okay? Um, lahat ng mga Cebuano ay marunong kumanta. Okay? So that's stereotyping. That's stereotyping. Okay, now, but when you say, our question here is asking for social development, and it means acquisition of the ability to behave in accordance with. When do you say that you have developed socially? And that would be in accordance with social expectations, in accordance with what is expected of us by the society. Ano bang ine-expect ng society from us? Okay, so that's social expectations, letter A. Hindi po social integration. Social integration, meaning naging bahagi ka lang ng society. Lahat naman tayo ay bahagi ng society. But when you say social development, this means may ability ka to behave in accordance with social expectations. So that means pag meron ka ng asawa, ay hindi ka na pwedeng makihalubilo or hindi ka na pwedeng makipagrelasyon sa iba. Okay, that is our social expectation. Social expectation natin yan. Pag pumunta ka ng simbahan, hindi po pwedeng nakabikini ka. Okay? That's based on our social expectation. So that's letter A. Letter A is the correct answer. Number 4, the use of drills in the classroom is rooted on Thorndike's law of letter A, readiness, letter B, exercise, letter C, effect, letter D, belongingness. Okay? Is it letter A, readiness, letter B, exercise, letter C, effect, or letter D, belongingness? Drills. Okay, so ibig sabihin ng drills would be exercises. Okay, for example, in a math class, when we were learning math, when we were in our elementary, add tayo, pinapa-subtract once we get inside the room. Okay, so these are our drills. Now, as I have mentioned in the previous live stream, drills, mastery, and criteria measure are always together. So whenever you see drills, tapos may nakita kang mastery, for example, yan na yung tamang sagot. Whenever you see drills at may nakita kang criterion, that's already going to be your correct answer. But according to Thorndike's laws of learning, remember Thorndike has 3 laws of learning: the law of readiness, the law of exercise, the law of effect. Sabi ng readiness, you cannot make a student learn unless ready siya for that concept to learn. Ready siya in terms of age, or ready siya since you have motivated him to learn. Law of exercise naman would be practice makes perfect. The more you do something, the more you become better at it. The law of effect naman, if the effect is good, then the student is going to do it again. If the effect is bad, then the student won't do it anymore. Okay? Now, the correct answer here for drills, that would be exercise. Letter B, exercise. Okay, very good. I think all of you got it correctly. Number 5, positive interdependence as an element of collaborative learning means that students must, letter A, learn to depend on each other to achieve a goal. Letter B, depend on the diligent students. Letter C, help one another in the individual test for everyone. Letter D, be grouped heterogeneously. What do you think is the correct answer for number 5? Okay, again, we're already at number 5 of our ProfEd. Now, a lot of you are answering letter A. We go back to the question. It says positive interdependence. Okay, positive interdependence as an element of collaborative learning means that. Okay, the correct answer, of course, here would be letter A. Learn to depend on each other to achieve a goal. Hindi po pwedeng nakadepende lang tayo sa diligent students. Hindi din po pwede yung letter C, dahil sabi ng letter C, help one another in the individual test. This is already cheating. Okay, so cheating na po ito dahil yung test is individual. Be grouped heterogeneously. This is not included in this topic here. When you say grouping heterogeneously, meaning iba-iba yung yung skills, yung ability ng iyong mga estudyante in contrast to grouping homogeneously. Pag homogeneous naman yung grouping, that means meron silang parehong ability. For example, star section silang lahat. Or special science class yung klase mo at lahat ng mga estudyante mo matatalino. Or they have special skills in science. Okay, so the correct answer for number 5 would be learn to depend on each other to achieve a goal. Number 6, in the formulation of classroom regulations, which of the following should a teacher refrain from doing? When you are making your regulations, your rules, which one should you refrain from doing? Refrain from doing, this means dapat mong iwasan. Is it letter A, state classroom regulations as clearly as possible? Letter B, enlist students' aid in the formulation of classroom regulations. Letter C, enforce classroom regulations consistently and fairly. Letter D, students should make as many regulations as possible on their own. Okay, we're already at number 6. All right, a lot of you are already answering, and many answers are letter D, and that is the correct answer. Okay, so students should make as many regulations as possible on their own. Now, going back to the choices here, this is tama, state classroom regulations as clearly as possible, enlist students' aid in the formulation of classroom regulations. This is also tama, enforce classroom regulations consistently. Pero your question is asking for which one should you refrain from doing? Saan yung dapat mong iwasan? So that means saan yung mali sa ating choices? That's why your answer should be students should make as many regulations as possible. Ito yung nagpamali sa iyong choice D. On their own. They should not be making that on their own. You should only be asking them for some suggestions, but of course the final say would still be depending on you because you're the adult in the classroom. All right, number 7, which is the least authentic mode of assessment? Is it letter A, paper and pencil test in vocabulary? Letter B, oral performance to assess students' spoken communication skills. Letter C, experiments in science to assess skills in the use of the scientific method. Letter D, artistic production for music or art subject. Which one do you think is the correct answer for number 7? All right, many of you are already answering. The correct answer for number 7, of course, when you're talking about authentic mode of assessment, when you say authentic assessment, it should follow real life activities. Okay, when you say authentic assessment, it should be the same as real life activities. So saan ba dito yung hindi real life? Okay, and that would be letter A, paper and pencil test. Paper and pencil testing is not an authentic mode of assessment. This is just traditional mode of assessing our students. Okay, so number 7, A is the correct answer. Number 8, a teacher notices glaring wrong pronunciation of vowel sounds among her students, making a need for more practice. Which of the following activities would be of most help? Is it letter A, dictionary use, letter B, review, letter C, assignment, letter D, drills? Okay, number 8. So you're a teacher and you hear many of your students mispronouncing vowel sounds. Okay, so wrong pronunciation. Gusto ko lang pong i-emphasize to when you say pronunciation and not pronunciation. Hindi po pronunciation, but you say pronunciation. Okay, so what are you going to do? Would you be using your dictionary? Would you have review, assignment? The correct answer, of course, would be drills, letter D. Okay, correct? Now we go to number 9. Which storage device is significantly more efficient in holding information? Which one is better at holding information? Is it letter A, hard disk, letter B, software, Letter C, floppy disk. Letter D, audio cassette. Okay, now we all know this. The correct answer would be letter A, hard disk. That's correct. Okay, so hard disk. Wala na po tayo masyadong floppy disk dito. Okay, floppy disk would be your diskette. All right, number 10, no pain, no gain. This means that only those willing to carry the cross of life can share the joy of life. One should be penitent every Good Friday by carrying his cross. The more suffering in his life, the more one is assured of heaven. One should look for suffering to save himself. What do you think is the correct answer for number 10? Okay, many of you are answering letter A, and that is the correct answer. Okay, so letter A, number 10, that's correct. Only those willing to carry the cross of life can share the joy of life. We go to number 11. A negative discrimination index means that letter A, more from the lower group answered the test items correctly. Letter B, the items could not discriminate between the lower and upper groups. Letter C, more from the upper group answered the test items correctly. Letter D, less from the lower group got the test item correctly. Okay, which one do you think is the correct answer for number 11? A lot of you are answering letter A. Okay, now sa inyo pong, kung inyo pong napapansin ng choices natin number 11, your C and D are actually the same. Sabi ng C mo, more from the upper group answered the test items correctly, which means that less from the lower group got the test item correctly. Na ano ba yung tinatawag nating upper group and lower group dito? This is in terms of item analysis. So if you are trying to analyze an item, whether it's a good item in a test, you try to divide your students into the upper group, the lower group. Your upper group mo po, yan yung mga matatalino. Your lower group would be the yung hindi masyadong matalino mga estudyante mo. Now, ano bang ibig sabihin ng negative discrimination index? Okay? Now, these are the different types of discrimination index. Pag sinabi mong positive discrimination index, positive discrimination, that means more from the higher group got the answer correctly. Negative discrimination naman, more from the lower group got the answer correctly. That means mas marami pa sa medyo bobits yung nakakuha ng tama, which means that there is something wrong with your item. Now, number 3, zero discrimination. That means walang pagkakaiba yung answer nila. Lahat sila ay nakakuha, for example, ng tamang sagot. Okay, so your item cannot discriminate your higher group and your lower group. Okay, so that means the answer here would be letter A, more from the lower group answer the test items correctly. That's negative discrimination index, which means that there is something wrong with your item. So maaaring kailangan mo siyang i-revise or pwedeng i-discard mo na lang yung item mo. Okay, because it's not valid. Number 12, which statement on spaced and massed learning is correct? Now, letter A, massed learning is better than spaced learning. Letter B, spaced learning is better than massed learning. Letter C, massed learning is as effective as spaced learning. Letter D, both massed learning and spaced learning are not effective. Okay, which one do you think is the correct answer for number 12? Okay, now before we answer number 12, let's take a look at this slide. When you say mass instruction, this is what usually happens in a review center. Okay, so pag mass instruction, lahat ng kailangang concepts na ma-learn mo is fit in a very short interval. So lahat dapat nun, ma-learn mo in 4 months, 5 months, for example, of your review. Okay, so that's mass instruction. Lahat na nandun. Ang space instruction mo naman ay may pagitan. Okay, so kada topics mo or kada concept mo, for example, mauuna muna yung lecture, and then merong case-based, and so on. May pagitan, may variation. Okay, so that's spaced instruction. Now, which do you think is better? Is it mass instruction or spaced instruction? The correct answer here is, of course, letter B. Spaced learning is better than mass learning. Hindi po pwedeng nilalagay natin lahat ng concept in just one time. Ginagawa lamang natin ito, especially sa LET, dahil nga wala tayong time. Pero pag may time naman, better pong gamitin natin yung spaced learning than mass learning, because what happens if you have so many concepts is that the students feel burnt out na. Okay? Very tired na yung mga estudyante mo. Wala na silang learn. There's just too much information. May information overload na sila. Okay? So that spaced learning is better than mass learning. Number 13, a teacher is a facilitator of learning and of the development of the youth. Which practice is not keeping with his role as facilitator? Letter A, considers multiple intelligences of learners. Letter B, humiliates misbehaving pupils. Letter C, dialogues with parents and with other members of the community. Letter D, keeps himself abreast with education trends. Okay, which one is the correct answer for number 13? Again, for number 13, which practice is not in keeping with his role as facilitator? Okay, saan dito yung hindi bahagi ng role ng isang teacher as facilitator of learning? And the correct answer, of course, would be letter B, humiliates misbehaving pupils. Okay, kahit na minsan masyado ka nang irritated, kahit minsan gusto mo nang murahin yung estudyante, as a teacher, you should always make sure that you have your emotions in check. Okay, huwag kang outburst, huwag kang iiyak sa klase mo, huwag kang maninigaw sa klase mo, and of course, do not do corporal punishment. Okay, so letter B is humiliates misbehaving pupils. All right, 14. Which one indicates a teacher's genuine enthusiasm and pride in teaching? This is part of our code of ethics. Is it A, sticking to teaching now that there are no better offers? Letter B, telling everyone that one went to teaching for there was no other choice then? Letter C, engaging himself in continuing professional education. Letter D, belittling the remuneration one gets from teaching. Now, if you haven't done so yet, we have a video on the code of ethics for professional teachers. So please write a reminder in your notes to watch it. Okay, we have sample questions there about the code of ethics that are common in the LET. And of course, the answer here would be letter C, engage in professional education, in CPE, that's correct. Now, number 15, in writing performance objectives, which word is not acceptable? When you are making your objectives, which one is not acceptable? Is it manipulate, letter B, integrate, letter C, delineate, or letter D, comprehend? Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 15? Okay, number 15 natin, there was already a similar question with this. Meron na tayong similar question nito in our previous live streams. But in that question, yung ginamit ko lamang ay yung term or yung verb na understand. Sinabi ko na in making your objectives, you should not be using the term understand because it is not measurable. You cannot measure whether the student has really understood the concept or not. Okay, so is it manipulate, integrate, delineate, comprehend? The correct answer here would be comprehend. Okay, comprehend. Bakit comprehend? Because comprehend is a synonym of understand. Okay, so do not use comprehend. You may use other terms. Of course, comprehension is one level in our Bloom's taxonomy, but you should be using another term, another verb, not comprehend. Okay, don't use comprehend, don't use understand, use another term. Okay, so usually naman meron tayong list of terms that we can use in the different levels of Bloom's taxonomy. So for comprehend, di ba, pag comprehension, the student can restate the concept using his or her own word. So you may use the term restate, okay, or you can say paraphrase. Okay, so these are some of the verbs that you can use instead of comprehend and understand. Number 16, on which constitution provision is full or partial integration of capable deaf and blind students in the classroom based? Letter A, providing citizenship and vocational training to adult citizens. Letter B, protecting and promoting the rights of all citizens to quality education. Letter C, academic freedom. Letter D, scholarships for poor but deserving students. Okay, what's the correct answer for 16? Why do we integrate our capable deaf and blind students in the classroom based? In the classroom, I mean. Okay, correct answer for this one is also part of our constitution. It is letter B, protecting and promoting the rights of all citizens to quality education. So we need to educate not only the fast learners, but also the slow learners, not only those students without special needs, but even those students with special needs. So lahat dapat ini-educate, lahat dapat should have the access to quality education, or what we call EFA, education for all. Okay, so that's part of our constitution. Letter B for number 16. Next one, 17. What does a skewed score distribution mean? What do you mean when you say your score distribution is skewed? Is it letter A, the scores are concentrated more at one end or the other end? Letter B, the mode, mean, and median are equal. Letter C, the mean and the median are equal. Letter D, the scores are normally distributed. What's the correct answer for number 17? Okay, you have variable answers for number 17. Okay, so again, yung sabi, yung tinatanong ng 17 is skewed score distribution. I've already discussed this in one of our videos before. When you say skewedness, okay, that means, and if you were not able to watch our videos yet on the video on mean, median, mode, also make a reminder on that in your notes. In your paper, we have a video on the mean, median, and mode. So make sure that you watch that. That's going to be very helpful in you're taking the lab. Lahat ng different measures of central tendency ay diniscuss ko doon. The correct answer here would be letter A. The scores are concentrated more at one end or the other end. So pag sinabi mong skewed, hindi po siya normal distribution. Pag sinabi mo kasi normal distribution, it would look like this. Your graph would look like this. That means karamihan sa mga estudyante mo, or most of the students, got the average. So your letter B, the mode, mean, median are equal. The mean, the median are equal. The scores are normally distributed. Pare-pareho lamang po yan. The only one that is different here, and that's the correct answer, the scores are concentrated more at one end or the other end. I will not be discussing this yet because I think I have a question here at the later part. Okay, yes, there's positive and negative skewedness. I think I have a question here, so I'll skip that for now. Okay, now number 18. Yes, this is a question. Which statements apply when score distribution is negatively skewed? Okay, if your score distribution is negatively skewed, what does that mean? The mode corresponds to a low value. The median is higher than the mode. The mode and median are equal. The mean corresponds to a high value. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for 18? Okay, so many are answering B. All right. Now going back to this, when you say skewedness, again, when you say skewed, your score distribution is skewed, that means hindi siya normal score distribution. Hindi karamihan sa kanila ay average. Merong sobrang taas, meron namang sobrang baba. Now, when you say skewed, this means the tail of your distribution. So sinabi ko in our previous live stream, if you have not watched our previous live streams, make sure that you go back to our playlist on GenEd ProfEd live streams and go back to all those live streams that we've had, because you are going to be learning a lot of those concepts from our live streams. Sinabi ko na dati ito, when you say skewedness, it is the opposite. So pag sinabi mong negatively skewed, actually, pag sinabi mong negatively skewed, kunwari, this is your zero. Okay, this is your graph. Again, your skewedness here would pertain to the tail. Okay, yan yung tail ng distribution mo. So pag negatively skewed siya, ito yung tail. Okay, ito yung tail ng distribution mo. At ito yung pinaka-body ng score distribution mo. That's why it's negatively skewed. Okay, you're looking at the tail. Pag sinabi mo namang positively skewed, yung tail niya would be the positive part. Okay, so ganyan yung score distribution mo. Which means na actually opposite siya. Pag sinabi mong yung score distribution mo is negative, that means maraming mataas yung nakuha. Baliktad, okay? It does not follow that if it is negatively skewed, mababa na yung mga nakuha ng mga estudyante mo. When you say positively skewed, baliktad, mas maraming nakakuha ng mababang score. Okay? Mas maraming nakakuha ng mababang score. So in this case here, for number 18, we're being asked for negatively skewed score distribution. So that means maraming nakakuha ng mataas na grado, which means that the correct answer is letter D. The mean corresponds to a high value. Your average is going to be a high value. Okay, so that's going to be letter D for number 18. All right, now we go to 19. To build a sense of pride among Filipino youth, which one should be done? Which one should you do? Is it letter A, restudy our history and stress on our achievements as a people? Letter B, set aside the study of local history. Letter C, restudy our history from the perspective of our colonizers. Letter D, replace the study of folklore and myths with technical subjects. Okay, what do you think is the correct answer for number 19? 19, if we want to build a sense of pride among the youth in the Philippines, what should we do? Okay, the correct answer is letter A. We study our history and stress on our achievements as people. Hindi po letter C. Kasi sabi ng letter C, we study our history from the view of our colonizers. So sino ba yung mga colonizers natin? Our colonizers were the Spanish, the Japanese, the Americans. Okay, so of course, that's not nice. Okay, so dapat restudy our history and stress mo yung achievement natin as a people. And so when that happens, our students will become proud that they are Filipinos. Okay, now we go to number 20. We're almost done. Both Muslims and Christians value marriage, but the Muslims practice polygamous marriage, while Christians practice monogamous marriage. What is this called? Is it A, cultural relativism? Letter B, enculturation. Letter C, accumulation. Letter D, indoctrination. What's the answer for number 20? Okay, so sabi dito, yung mga Muslim at mga Kristiyano ay parehong nagpapahalaga sa kasal. Pero yung mga Kristiyano ay monogamous, meaning they only have one wife, they only have one husband. Yung Muslim naman ay polygamous. Okay, they can have as many wives as they may have, as long as they can support them. At dapat pare-pareho, pantay ang treatment nila sa kanilang mga wife. Okay? So the correct answer here would be, that's letter A, cultural relativism. When you say cultural relativism, one man's meat can be another man's poison. That means, pag tama sa isang Muslim na magkaroon ng maraming wives, sa Kristiyano naman ay mali. Okay? So depende sa iyong kultura. Kung ano mang tama sa isang kultura, ay pwedeng hindi tama sa isang kultura, pwedeng mali sa isang kultura, pwedeng bawal sa isang kultura. Okay, so yung Muslim, pag Muslim, mayroon siyang maraming marriage, maraming wives, okay lang. Pero pag Kristiyano naman ay hindi po pwede. Bawal po yan. Matutulfo po kayo. Okay, so that's cultural relativism. Now, your three other choices here, na-discuss ko na to sa ating live streams before. When you say enculturation, common din po ito sa LET, no? When you say enculturation, you are learning your own culture. Okay, you're learning your own culture. Pag sinabi mo ng accumulation, you are learning part of another person's or another group's culture. For example, kunwari masyado kang mahilig sa K-pop, sa K-novela, sa K-drama, at marunong ka ng mag-Korean, okay? Or sometimes you have some values, you have some parts of your culture that is Korean, for example, but you are not getting rid of being a Filipino. So that's accumulation. Another term that we have here is assimilation. Wala po dito sa choices natin yung assimilation. Pero pag sinabi mo pong assimilation, you have completely forgotten your own culture and you have completely embraced another group's culture. Okay, so for example, going back to our example a while ago, masyado ka ng Korean. Lahat na sa iyo Korean. Okay, so hindi ka na nagsasalita ng kung ano. Pag may nagsabi sa iyo magandang umaga, hindi na magandang umaga or good morning din yung sagot mo, pero yung sinasagot mo na ay annyeonghaseyo. Okay? Pag sinabi sa'yo ng boyfriend mo na I love you, yung sagot mo na is saranghamnida. Okay? Or sarangheyo. Okay? So masyado ka ng Korean, lahat na sa'yo Korean. Pati mata mo, pinaayos mo na, ginawa mo ng singkep, for example. Okay? So that's assimilation. At kinalimutan mo na ang pagiging Pilipino. That's assimilation. So enculturation, learning your own culture. Accumulation, learning a part of another group's culture, but not getting rid of your own culture. And the last one is assimilation, getting rid of your previous culture and embracing another group's culture. Now, indoctrination naman is different. Indoctrination naman, this is one way of brainwashing. Okay, so ginagawa ito when you're saying that you are making a person swallow your beliefs even if that person does not completely understand those beliefs. So usually nangyayari ito sa mga young rebels natin, young terrorists, okay? So na i-indoctrinate sila ng, for example, ng Al-Qaeda, for example, or ng Abu Sayyaf, for example, even if they don't completely understand the ideals, the concepts, or the beliefs. Okay, so pinapalamon lang sila. That's brainwashing and that is indoctrination. But for number 20, the correct answer is cultural relativism. Now, number 21, teaching in the cognitive, psychomotor, and affective domains is based on the concept that the learner is A, moral and feeling being. B, material and an acting being. Letter C, thinking, feeling, and acting being. Letter D, spiritual and material being. Okay, what's the correct answer for number 21? Okay, a lot of you are answering letter C, and that's correct. Okay, so tama po yan. Cognitive, psychomotor, and affective, these are the domains of learning. Cognitive po, this is pertaining to the brain, so that's why we have thinking. Psychomotor, this is pertaining to our skills, okay, bodily movement, so that's why we have acting. And of course, affective domain, this is attitude, behavior, so that's why you have feeling. Okay, so letter C is the correct answer for number 21. Now we go to number 22. For guidance and counseling to be effective, which assumption must be avoided? Which one should you avoid so that guidance counseling would be effective? Is it letter A, the environment must provide assurance of confidentiality? Letter B, the student is willing to participate in the process? Letter C, the counselor tells the students what to do? Letter D, the counselor must be able to relate to the student? Okay, we're already at number 22. Which one should you avoid so that guidance counseling would be effective? Okay, for guidance counseling to be effective, which one should be avoided? A lot of you got the correct answer, and that's letter C. The counselor tells the student what to do. So usually, the counselor would just be an active listener. The counselor would only be listening to the student and would try to make the student analyze or examine what he or she is feeling. Okay? So dapat hindi fino-force ng counselor yung student kung anong dapat gawin. All right, we're down to number 23. We're down to our last 3 questions. This time, I'd like you to please send me your score first. Please send me your score. Again, passing percentage should be 60% of 50 points or 50 items, and that will be 30 points. So dapat naka 30 and above tayo. That's a combination of GenEd score and ProfEd score. So far, ilan na po ba yung score nyo? Again, it should be a combination of your GenEd and ProfEd scores out of 50. Okay? Until now, ilan na po yung score nyo? Dapat naka 30 and above na kayo, or kung hindi man, malapit-lapit na sa 30. Okay, again, I'd like you to please send your score as a combination of both ProfEd and GenEd. Okay, so some of you have 40 points, Sir CK. Sir Mark 36, no? Some of you are 42, may 40, may 18, 29, 33, 29. Sana makatama pa ng isa. If you are way below that, then that's okay. We still have a lot of time. We still have ample of time. So make sure that you come back for our next live streams. Please hit the bell notification. Yung dyan pong malapit sa subscribe button nyo, may bell po. At kailangan ma-hit nyo yung bell na nagsasabing all para ma-notify kayo kung mayroon tayong bagong videos. Okay, so 36, 29, 40. Okay, so marami na po sa inyo yung mga nakalagpas na ng 30. Hindi nakaabot si Ma'am Saina, it's okay po. You can just revisit this once we're done with the live stream. All right, so good job, good job. A lot of you have more than 60%. If hindi naman, it's okay. Do not lose hope. Again, as I'm telling you, the LET is test taking and it's a skill, so we can do it. We can improve your scores by doing drills. Okay, so bumalik lamang po kayo sa ating mga live stream and watch our videos na nandiyan na po sa ating YouTube channel. Okay, please share our YouTube channel. Don't skip ads and don't abandon our videos. All right, we go to number 23, which is a selective reading technique aimed at getting an important fact very fast. Is it skimming, scanning, oral reading, silent reading? Saan kaya dito yung tamang sagot sa number 23? You want to get an important fact very fast. Okay, kunwari meron kang hinahanap na phone number, or meron kang hinahanap na password, or meron kang hinahanap na PIN. Okay, so what type of reading, what type of selective reading technique are you using? Okay, is it skimming, scanning, oral reading, silent reading? All right, now let me discuss these two first, oral reading and silent reading. Hindi po ito ang ating tamang sagot. Oral reading po, of course, you are reading aloud. Silent reading naman, you are reading on your own. You are reading silently. You're not using your voice. Now, silent reading is a skill that should have been established by grade 3. Dapat grade 3, naka-establish ka na ng iyong silent reading. Okay? So, grade 3, dapat yung bata, marunong na siyang mag-silent reading. Now, we go back to the two other choices here, skimming and scanning. Now, skimming, when you say skimming, this is to read quickly to get the general idea of a passage. So pag sinabi mo pong skimming, para po siyang summary. Skimming is what you do when you are just looking at, for example, a magazine. For example, you're waiting for your doctor's appointment or your dentist's appointment. Nasa dentist office ka na, and you are waiting for the dentist to call you, or you are waiting at a salon for your haircut, or for your nail polish, for your manicure, pedicure, or for your massage, whatever. And you are just looking at a magazine like this. Okay, so hindi ka masyadong nagfo-focus, you're not really reading, you're just skimming at the pages. Okay, so skimming is just to read quickly to get the general idea of a passage. Usually nga, hindi mo pa nakukuha yung general idea. Okay, so just summarizing. But when you say scanning, this is to search for specific information or keywords. So for example, as I've mentioned, telephone number, particular name, date, the number, program, the cosine of 32 degrees, for example. Okay, so that's scanning. getting very specific information, very important information. Okay, so the meaning, the correct answer here would be letter B, scanning. Scanning, because it says important fact. You are trying to get the important fact very fast. So it's not just skimming, because skimming is just looking at it very fast, not really concentrating hard, but it is scanning. Okay, so letter B, scanning, is the correct answer. All right. Now next, number 24. Which is the best reason why teachers begin a lesson in math by checking and reviewing on the previous day's assignment and providing practice and drills? Is it A, to check if parents guide their children in the making of the assignment? Letter B, to make sure that the students understand prerequisite skills of the lesson? Letter C, to prepare the students for the mastery test? Or letter D, to make learning interesting and enjoyable for students? Why does your math teacher, bakit yung math teacher mo ay nag-check at nagre-review ng previous day's assignment at nagdi-drill at nag-provide din ng practice? Okay? Is it only to check if parents guide their children, kung tinuruan ka ng parent mo on how to do your assignment, to make sure that the students understand prerequisite skills of the lesson, to prepare the students for the mastery test, dahil magkakaroon kayo ng mastery test, to make learning interesting and enjoyable for the students? I think many of you got the correct answer, and that is letter B, to make sure that the students understand prerequisite skills of the lesson. Ma'am Antonia, I see that your answer is correct, letter B. So that means nakapasa na po kayo. Okay, so prerequisite, that means you are reviewing the previous day's assignment. Okay, so tama din si Sir Jeffrey Arida, previous day, that means prerequisite. All right, now we go to the last question for our ProfEd. When necessary conditions are present, the use of inductive method is preferred because. Why do we prefer the use of inductive method? Is it letter A, there is an active participation on the part of pupils? Letter B, it requires less time. Letter C, it requires only a few instructional materials. Letter D, it is used widely. Okay, why do we use the inductive method when the conditions are present, necessary conditions are present? Okay, sa happy si Ma'am Antonia, no, naka 30 plus na. Pasado na. Hi, Sir Philip. Welcome to our YouTube channel and to our live stream. Nakaabot po kayo. Okay, but this is already the last question. But make sure that next time you hit that bell button beside your subscribe button so that you'll know when we are going to have the next live stream. And please also share this with your fellow classmates. I know that a lot of us are having difficult time, especially financially right now because of this pandemic. A lot of people have lost their jobs. And so again, we are offering this let review and it's for free. We're not asking for anything in return, but for you to just share our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, and make sure that the Facebook page that you're sharing, you're liking, you're following is our official Facebook page, because there are some other pages who follow the same name, okay, but they don't have the same logo. Okay, so make sure that it's the correct Facebook page that you are following, you're sharing, and also please share our YouTube channel so that in this way we can help more students pass the let for free. Okay, they don't need to pay, your parents don't need to pay any money for you to pass the let. Okay, pwede kayong mag-self-review, pero of course, alam niyo din na credible yung inyong self-review. Hindi naman po pwedeng mag-self-review lang kayo na kayo lang. Okay, so make sure that you are subscribing, you are subscribed, and that you hit the bell button so that you'll know when the next live stream would be or when the next usual videos are posted. Okay? Sir Jeffrey, 30 plus na din. Salamat. Sir CK, inshallah. Okay, you're welcome. Yes, Sir Philip. Sir Philip is my friend. He is my townmate, no, from the same town. Okay, so we go to the answer here. When necessary conditions are present, the use of inductive method is preferred because, is it letter A, there is an active participation on the part of pupils. Letter B, it requires less time. Letter C, it needs only a few instructional materials. Or letter D, it is used widely. Now let's go to the difference between, oh, I did not include the difference. I'm sorry. Now, I think you have seen this in our previous videos before when you have deductive method and inductive method. Again, the major difference is that in your deductive method, you start from the general and you go down to the specific. So you have the general rule first, then you go down to the specific. But when you say inductive method, you start with the specific, then you go to the general. You ask the students to make their own generalization. Your deductive method is also called direct instruction, and it's also teacher-centered. So nakatuon siya sa teacher. Yung teacher mo usually would just give lectures. It is done when time is less, okay? You don't have lots of time. So you just do deductive method, you just do direct teaching, lecture lang siya usually. Ang inductive method mo naman, which is from examples going to the specifics, it is student-centered, okay? So it's also called indirect teaching method, indirect learning, indirect teaching method. Your inductive method actually requires a lot of time because your inductive method, you don't give them the rules, you don't give them the generalization, but you let them explore. You give them ample of activities, different activities, until such time that they create their own meaning of the concept. Okay, so it's constructivist. Constructivist itong inductive method natin. It is learner-centered, it is student-centered, it is a very good way of letting your students learn. Basta marami ka lang time. Okay, so that's why the correct answer here would be letter A. There is an active participation on the part of the pupils. Hindi lamang nakaupo yung mga pupils at nakikinig sa iyong lecture, but the pupils are also doing their tasks. The pupils are doing their projects, for example. They're doing the things that you ask them to do, and then they would come up with their own idea. They would come up with their own generalization. They would come up with their own meaning of the terms that you would want them to learn. Okay? So, Ma'am Maricon, 44. Ma'am Buenafit, 36 out of 50. Okay, so I hope you have all learned a lot of things today. Kahit isang thing lamang po, isang bagay lamang po na meron kayong na-learn, that would already be a big plus in your taking the LET. Again, make sure that you are subscribed to our channel and that you hit the bell button. And please come back to our next videos. I will be here to guide you as you take your LET, okay? So don't lose hope. Do not spend much money, because money, of course, now is very important for us in times like this, which are uncertain times. We don't know when our parents would go back to work, when we can all go back to work, when it is safe for us to get out of our house, to even go to the review centers. So usually everything is done online. All right, so again, let me remind all those people who have not sent their email addresses yet, please send your email address so you can receive today's freebie. Also, let me remind you to please don't skip ads, and also watch our videos from start until the end so that you will also get the freebies for each video. Usually, the instructions for you to get the freebie is given towards the end of the video, all right? Please stay COVID-free, please stay safe, please pray, and do come back soon for our next video and for our next live stream. Thank you so much, my dear students. Sa muli, ito po ang inyong gurong Pinoy na nagsasabing maliit man na butil na mga kaalaman, ang dulo nito ay malaking kaginhawaan. Maraming salamat po. Good morning from South Carolina. Good night to all of you. Sleep well and God bless. See you next time.